Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Sports Port. I'm here with Tony. We had a great wild card weekend. How we doing, Tony?
Dude, I'm doing pretty freaking great, man. A great wild card weekend, nonetheless. Stoked to have you here. Brian's on assignment, dude. Yeah, you are. Why? What'd you do? Take out your headphones?
I think I took out my headphones. Yeah.
Oh my
we're back.
gosh.
We're back.
That is actually literally just like Brian. Brian out there on assignment.
In, what's that place? Cancun.
Is it Cancun? He's in Mexico?
Mexico.
Oh, wow, dude. I didn't realize he went to Mexico.
Great spot.
Yeah. No, yeah, solid spot. I haven't been there since I was like a
Good
kid,
food.
I guess, dude.
I heard it's a little dangerous there.
Yeah, I was told if you went outside your resort area, you'd run into some trouble, dude.
Definitely stay in the resort, what I heard there.
Well, you know, Brian's not going to be going outside the resort. I mean, why would you go
He's a
away
resort
from,
guy.
everything's, the food, the bar, the beach.
Yep.
Like, there's nothing else you really need out there, man.
What is the right time to hit the bar on a vacation?
The right time?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's really no wrong time on the vacation, right? I mean,
Well, I think 11 probably is your earliest mark.
I think that's ridiculous.
You think earlier?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't think it'd be unheard of to see, like, especially if I go to breakfast, or like, I'm not going to get breakfast at 11. I'm going to get breakfast at, like, probably 9:30. Get my day a little bit started, a little bit early, and then naturally I'm going to have maybe like a screwdriver or a Bloody Mary,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, no, I guess.
No,
maybe
I
like
guess you're
mimosa.
not, you don't really enjoy your vacations, I guess.
No, I try to. I really do. In Aruba, I would say around 11, I'd probably go. But it was different because it was a family vacation. You don't want, going with mom and my sister getting a screwdriver at breakfast.
It's
But
a bad look from your mom,
if I
I
was
guess.
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
boys, like say it was a guy's trip, I'd probably agree with you there.
Yeah, but if there was any women on the trip, you wouldn't.
Well, family, no. Like my mom, my sister, no. Don't start. I didn't want to. It would just turn into you got to hear about it. But moving on from myself,
Turn it to you got to hear about it.
it was a big weekend in the NFL. Wild card weekend. Some unexpected games. Some games that I didn't go the way that I wanted them to go. I will say I bet a lot of wrong bets.
I was going to say, yeah.
A lot of wrong bets out of me. I think I went one for how many games were there? 4 games. 1 for 4 this
One
weekend.
for 4.
And my win didn't come till last night. So missed every game until
Yeah,
last
it's tough.
night.
What did you think about the schedule? Saturday, Sunday, like 2 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday,
I feel like
and
that's.
then now the 1 game Monday.
I think that's the only way you can do it though, because how would you do them all on Sunday? You'd have to, because the NFL they want 1 game on at a time for viewership reasons.
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't like the games on Saturday because I was working on Saturday, so I
Right.
missed all the games on Saturday.
See, that is tough.
So like Sunday, I wish there were more games just
Yeah.
to watch.
I kind of don't like the Saturday midday game because it's like, again, like Saturday, like Sunday is the day to sit on the couch all day, football. Like Saturday, 4 o'clock, I'm still like moving and grooving, I'm
Yeah.
getting shit done sort of deal. And then obviously you're out of the bar, the 8 o'clock game, that's great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My roommate and I were talking last night, and it would be kind of sick if they maybe like scratch that midday Saturday game and then had like a 9 a.m. or like an 11 a.m. game
I think that'd be
on
cool.
Sunday.
but-
Then it'd be 11, then 1,
I
and
feel like
then
the
4,
players
whatever.
would never approve that.
Yeah, I
you
guess
know?
so.
And even for next weekend with the divisional rounds, like there's 2 really good games on Saturday.
Yeah,
And I don't know, Saturday just it doesn't scream professional football to me,
exactly.
I think Sunday's also I don't think this is a new thing. I think they always played these games on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason in my head, it seems like it's a newer thing that these games are on Saturday.
Did they have 2 games on Saturday always? I feel like that's new.
I guess it's
maybe.
not a new thing. I don't know. I just feel like when I was growing
Yeah.
up, all the games were on Sunday.
And they definitely, I feel like, definitely didn't do it during the season, normally, like during the regular season.
Yeah, no,
You know?
no. Like I don't remember one Patriots playoff game of my life being on a Saturday. I think they were all Sunday games, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
You could be wrong.
I could be wrong. I happen to be wrong a lot, as you see in my bets.
Yeah, this weekend,
my bets
yeah.
were all wrong. I guess let's just get right into it then.
Maybe we should get to the comments first, maybe.
Okay, well, let's get to comments. It's been a while for me.
Yeah.
But let's go to the comments.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we got a few fans out there, dude. And obviously, big weekend for them as well. Speaking of them, Matthew Gabriel, a big fat let's go, dude. Solid weekends of games. Big one tonight, no doubt, for Sam Darnold. Could be a classic. And we'll get to predictions and stuff, but it should be an interesting game. Brian in here from the beach, from possibly the bar, which may be a little too early here for Riley.
No.
Packers, Bucks, Chargers, Steelers, not good. Broncos headed in the right direction. Sam Darnold with the 9 figures, he says, laying down.
9.
On the line tonight. Josh B. excited. Barnes, enjoy the triples have a day. Hashtag TCH Sports Wars at DTV. Yes, the pick segments. They're doing well. The TCA for the playoffs. And then Tommy says, what up, fam? Enjoy the fun in the sun, Barnes. Josh B. hyped to see Riley, dude. What's
my
up,
guy.
dude?
My guy.
He's not your guy,
He
dude.
is my guy.
And then Brian Barnaby says, thanks, bro. Boston sports suck ass.
All right. Wrong. Wrong. Celtics, very good. Red Sox, woo. We'll talk about them maybe later on in the winter, but that's going to be a good team this year. I'll tell you what, Red Sox going to be real good. Patriots, Mike Vrabel in.
That's
Patriots
pretty good, I guess,
are
yeah.
back, baby. The Pats are back. We're bringing championships back to Boston. The Bruins do kind of suck. I'll give you that. They do. They're kind of ass, but they did beat the Panthers this weekend. But Boston sports, they always find a way. So we'll be good. New York sports having a tough time.
Yeah, dude, for sure. You know who's not having a tough time? Tommy says no rules on vacation beverages. Dude. No rules.
I agree. There shouldn't be rules. There just were rules on mine. But if there wasn't rules, I'd drink earlier.
Did you try to push the envelope? Like, was your mom getting on you
to-
about, hey, Riley, don't get too drunk tonight?
No,
You made a fool of yourself last night.
I never made a fool of myself because
Really?
I
You
never
throw up?
I never got like super drunk on vacation. I just
Okay.
kind of a constant like beers throughout the day. You're just
Right.
feeling good. But
like in your mother's
my
eyes, does she
mom and
think
my
you're
sister-
hammered? Like,
my mom and my sister like to lay out the whole time, so they just go to the beach and lay out. I can't do that, so
Right.
I ended up just like hitting the bar early, and then you get a little side eye like, oh, beer's early, and he's like,
really?
yeah,
Nothing worse than side eye like that.
no, it's
dude.
tough, and it's like they,
On vacation?
yeah, it's tough.
Like, what the hell is that about, dude?
I don't know. I mean,
Did you try to lay out? You burn?
I did burn a little bit. I have the Irish skin, but I got a little bit of color. The sun does terrify me though. It's gotten me a couple times before. Bad burns, the bubbles.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Blistered
not,
up?
Not blistered up. Not a good time.
Oh, my God, dude.
Sun poisoning.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I try to beat the sun a lot, and the sun always wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll
You
be like,
lotion up, dude?
one of my favorite things to do is I'll do the no sunscreen routine and just be like, I'm not getting tan when I put on sunscreen. So let me do 15 minutes in the sun, no sunscreen, because that's basically like an hour and a half in the sun with sunscreen.
Is that factual, those numbers?
I don't know. I don't know if that's factual, but then I just get super burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you live and you learn. And yeah, what's going on over there?
I think we're getting a phone call, dude.
You're going to call in?
From Floral Park, dude. This is definitely gonna be James. All right, hold on, stand by, James. Let me push you through here, dude. We got our first call of the week, dude. Let's see. Hold on, stand by.
First call of the week.
First call. Yes. Good morning. Is this James?
Hey, what up, Downtime TV?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
How we doing?
Good.
What do you want to talk about this morning, dude?
Knicks game, huge win.
Knicks game, huge win. Wow, interesting, dude. All right, they played the Bucks. No. Anyone? Who the Knicks play this
Knicks.
weekend? Didn't follow.
It
the
was
game.
the Bucks. Yeah,
It was the Bucks. I knew
Huge
it. I
win.
knew it, dude.
Brunson dropped 44 points.
Yeah, looks like they're hitting their stride. It's a pretty good team. I will say the Knicks. I was scared of them going into the year as a Celtics fan, But it looks like they're hitting their shot. Looks like they're playing well. What's kind of your outlook on this team right now?
I'm thinking we have a pretty good team. You know, we strong with Brunson, Hart, Carl Anthony's been doing good, but I think it's looking good for the future of the Knicks.
How about in the playoffs? Do you think this team has the firepower to put up with the Celtics in a 7-game series?
Well, I'm not really sure about that. Last year we had a pretty perfect team. We just had didn't really work out last year. This year I'm not sure if we'll be able to make it the full way. I hope we do that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have the scoring. I think defense comes into play a little bit, especially in the playoffs. I mean, Tibbs always has a good defensive team. But the bench is a little shallow for my liking on this team. I think a guy like Tyler Kolek should get in your rotation more. I think he's a really good player. But he definitely has the offensive firepower. Yeah, definitely. But definitely the offensive firepower there. And I think this is a team that can make a run in the playoffs.
Yes.
Where do you see them landing? You think they can make a run, Riley?
I think they can make a run.
Eastern Conference Final?
I don't think they can beat the Celtics.
Lose the Celtics.
I don't know if they can beat the Cavs right now. But I think they can. I think they can beat the Cavs. I think that series could go like 7 or 6. I think when we get into the playoffs, the Celtics are just too good, too big for them. Yeah. Especially with a smaller lineup they have with Brunson up top, and the Celtics just have too much scoring off the bench with Pritchard and other people. But I still think it's a very good team that maybe East Conference Finals depends on the seeding. They could play the Celtics in East Conference Finals probably.
Yeah, well, we have Knicks and Hawks coming up. I'm not sure who's going to take that one.
Yes. The Hawks.
Middling.
I don't know if Trae Young. I mean, Trae Young's having a great year. He had that half-court shot to win. I'd probably see the Knicks take that one. But it's good. It's good for the Knicks to be good.
It is good for the Knicks.
It's good for basketball.
It's good for MSG. It's good for New York. Good for basketball. But real quick, James. I mean, tonight wild card game, Vikings Rams. Who do you got? What do you got? Final score? Who's winning this one? James, you there? Hello? You typing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, what do you got tonight? Wild card game, Vikings Rams. Who are you taking?
I'm thinking the Vikings are going to win this one.
Really?
They have a good record going.
No, they do. I mean, obviously, Darnold, the crazy year. It's gonna be tough. Obviously, that last game they played against the Lions, really. And I know it's they play the Lions, whatever. But I mean, not for nothing. It was for the division. Think they would have been able to handle them, especially with the Lions' injuries, whatever. And Darnold just, laying that absolute goose egg. You hope that's that. You hope that was like the goose egg he could have laid in the playoffs. And he just got it off his chest last game of the season, and now he's kind of back to what he was all year. Because gosh, dude,
we'll see.
Yeah.
I definitely have some takes on this game. We'll get to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Get to later.
But James, really appreciate you calling in, dude. Obviously, we'll follow the Knicks Hawks game. And the next time, we can recap that game too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bang, dude.
All right, so first caller out of the way. Little Knicks action.
Out of the way? Why do you say it like that, dude?
Oh, I didn't
mean
you
nervous
like that.
about the first?
Whoa.
Out of the way.
First caller of the week.
Yeah, first call of the week, dude.
Yeah. It's not in the way.
Great call.
Well,
dude.
it's not in the way anymore.
But you said it was out of the way as if it was in the way.
Well, it wasn't in the way.
Yeah,
it could have been in the way.
I know it wasn't in the way. It could have been in the way.
But we talked a little Vikings. What's happening tonight? Let's get into a full recap. What happened over the weekend? Let's hop into some NFL.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Mako Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again.
Mahomes escaping, on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones, oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right, so it was a big weekend in the NFL.
Huge, dude.
I didn't think the games lived up to maybe how we wanted them to live up to.
No, not even a little bit.
But let's jump right into the first one. Texans-Chargers was the first game of the weekend. I thought it was a game that Harbaugh was going to come in, perform well, and really have the Chargers ready to go. I thought this Texans team wasn't great the whole year, coming off C.J. Stroud's rookie year. I thought they were kind of up and down, no Tank Dell. But, man, they came out and played really well. They were at home. Chargers, I just thought the Chargers had it in them. I thought Herbert would finally ball out, and he just did not ball out. The Chargers. I mean, the Texans' defense was great. Stroud was great, and Nico Collins was great. I mean, Nico Collins, he really has turned into just. I mean, what a pick out of them. What a player for him. 7 receptions, 122 yards with a touchdown. And you put that up against. Talk about another pick. Just segueing to kind of the Chargers. They had a bad game, but I mean, Ladd McConkey. What a pick for them. And you have so much to look forward to if you're the Chargers. I think Herbert is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I really do. I think he's one of the best throwers of the ball in the NFL. He finally has a coach in Harbaugh who I think is going to be there for a while now with him. And he has a wide receiver in Ladd McConkey. And McConkey, 9 receptions, 197 and a touchdown. I mean, almost 200 yards in his first playoff game. And that's with them putting up only 12 points. So, I mean, you got to think that this team's going to be good for a while. I know Chargers fans are down from that loss, but you got to think that team's going to be good for a little bit going forward. And if you're the Texans, I mean, big first win, and then you go and play the Chiefs next week. You lost to the Chiefs on Christmas Day or Christmas week. I forget which, might have been the week before Christmas. And it's another test for C.J. Stroud. Can a team finally beat the Chiefs in the playoff? Who's going to be that AFC team that's going to beat them? Because that could be the next great AFC team once you dethrone the champs.
Yeah, that's for sure, dude. And I mean, it definitely is, a little tough here for the Chargers. I think it's the first time since in the modern era that a quarterback who had the least amount of interceptions during the year, Herbert, I think only had 3, had 4 in the game on Saturday. Obviously, very unlike him. But I mean, not for nothing, dude. I mean, like I know Herbert is a great quarterback. I do like McConkey at the wide receiving role. But I don't know, man. I just feel like I really question that their receiving core was really that great to begin with this season. I know Harbaugh is great. The defense, Herbert can throw the ball, certainly. But it's like if you look at their wins during the year, it's like they're beating the Jets or they're beating the Titans or, they're beating the Bears or something like. And it's when they play teams, like the Steelers or the Texans or anything or the Chiefs, like they're losing those games. So it's like they just aren't going to be able to hang with the better teams. And it is tough because, I mean, you do have to, you're going to be playing for a wild card spot. It's just going to be probably the reality of the situation for them with the Chiefs. Chiefs have one of the worst seasons that we've seen in out of the past 5 years, and they're still winning the division, which is wild. But the Chargers, it's a tough division. And, I mean, you obviously have to ask a lot from your team here. And I know that, McConkey obviously is young and stuff, but, you look at some of those interceptions, and a lot of them were off of or right through the hands of a receiver, There was quite a couple drop passes, and, it is tough. Not, obviously it's the entire team there, that obviously had some problems. But I don't know, man. I mean, I just think that, yes, like Brian said too earlier on, like you're saying, step in the right direction for the team, for the program. But I don't know. I mean, Brian and I even talked about it like a few weeks ago. I mean, growing up, like the Chargers, like with Phil Rivers, like they're a great team. They always had a step in the right direction every year. But when it came to the playoffs, when it came to beating that good team, that like one of the top teams to get through, they never did.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the record, like this is a game I thought they should have won.
Yeah, they should have.
But kind of going back to your point, I mean, Quentin Johnson, I don't know what to make of this guy. I thought he had a much better year than he did last year. That could have came with more targets as there's no Keenan Allen there anymore. I do think that team maybe needs one more skilled player. Maybe you get him in the draft this year. I don't know. I think Joe Alt was great up front for them and really reinforced that line as their running game was decent all year. But I do think they need one more skilled player. And if you look at their defense, Khalil Mack, he's getting old. They have older people. Derwin James getting old.
You're getting old.
So I think there's definitely room for improvement with this team, but that's every team. And I don't see this team taking a step back. I think this was from what they did last year, firing their coach. I don't know if you can ask for a better season. I mean, obviously you could. Maybe they could win this game. But as a Chargers fan, you have to be happy with how the season went, but maybe you're not happy with how, in particular, this game went.
You can't be.
You definitely 12 points, giving up 32, really bad first half out of them. So, but I think as a Chargers fan in general, you got to be happy. And flipping the script to the Texans, people the whole year with this team, and including myself, was they're not. Last year was this big oh, the Texans are back. CJ Stroud,
Yeah, yeah.
the Texans. Then this year they kind of went a little quiet. They were only 10-7. No one was really talking about Stroud anymore because Jaden Daniels kind of took over that spot for him. Everyone was CJ Stroud. Then the minute Daniels came in, it was like Jaden Daniels. I haven't really heard about Stroud, but like I said, if they can, this is still a really good team. Joe Mixon has been great for them all year. That's one thing that's been slept on. Joe Mixon has been great for them all year in the backfield.
Great.
Losing Tank Dell hurts for them, but they still have Nico Collins. They have some pieces. If CJ Stroud can keep the level that he played in this game, I mean, they're going to have a chance against the Chiefs. They had a chance against the Chiefs in that Christmas game.
Yeah.
This would be a huge win for the franchise. It would break open the AFC. And I will say I'd love to see the Bills finally beat the Chiefs this year, so I kind of hope the Chiefs win this game. But, I mean, I wouldn't count the Texans out of this game because people forget how many one-score games the Chiefs played, how they are not the Chiefs that they always been. You look at that record and think, oh, the Chiefs. The Chiefs are not as good. I hate the Chiefs. They are not as good as they always been. This is a beatable team in the playoffs, especially by a team like the Ravens or the Bills. And I can see a team like the Texans coming in and winning the game, especially on the road. They're road dogs. But that's what I got in this game.
Yeah, I like that take, dude. I mean, Texans and CJ Stroud, I mean, it's typical. It's that sophomore year. People almost expect the slump. And like you said, they see quarterbacks like Jane Daniels bursting in the scene. Another young quarterback coming in here. And then, like you said, especially for us, too, the market, of Houston is a little bit smaller. They lost Diggs early in the season. They lost Tank Dell. They went through a bad stretch. I want to say maybe the second half of the season. They had a couple back-to-back losses. They're 10-7, which is I know isn't obviously a bad record by any means. But when you think of Stroud and the Texans last season, it does feel like they took a step back. But like you said, I mean, and watching this game, I mean, there are drives here that he takes command of.
Yeah.
And he's a big reason why they end up scoring. Is because he just has that focus, he has that intensity, and he puts the ball exactly where he means to. So it's he has an opportunity, and not for nothing. I mean, they were down 6-0. I understand the defense came up big, but it took a little bit for Stroud to get into a stride, I guess. But once he hits it, I mean, he can hit almost anyone downfield. It doesn't matter who his receivers are. Is what I'm getting to. Tank Dell less, Stephon Diggs less. He can hit anyone downfield, and he can fucking scramble too. That's definitely another thing. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, obviously you're happy for the Texans, but if you're, I would say a pretty gut wrenching loss there for the Chargers. And in my opinion, wasn't really that much of an exciting game to watch.
No, not a great game. And another game that let's switch over to the other Saturday game, Baltimore Steelers versus Baltimore. This is a hyped up kind of rivalry that's been going on for a while. I don't know what else to say, but the Steelers. I love Mike Tomlin, but he didn't have his guys ready to go.
No,
I mean, if you look in that first half, there was no urgency. There was no fight in them. And especially with a defense that has a D-line like them, you think that maybe they could be the team that could sort of quiet Derrick Henry. I mean, they did no such thing. I mean, Derrick Henry, 26 carries for 186, 2 touchdowns. I mean, when you look at teams what team can, because when you look at the Ravens, it's not, you think of Lamar, he only threw for 175 this game. They are so good, this Ravens team. What AFC team has a defensive line that can shut down Henry? Because he's a difference maker in that. He ran all over the Steelers. They had no answer for him. And by the time it went to half, you would think this game is basically over. Russ did not look great.
No.
George Pickens, I mean, he either gets the ball, he pushes off, he has a lot of penalties. I mean, he's all over the place. If I'm a Steelers fan, I mean, yes, you had a good year, but it takes some rethinking for a team in the playoffs in a rivalry game like that to come out that flat. I mean, they just did not look good. That game was boring because of how flat they came out. And the Ravens, the Ravens are going to do what the Ravens are going to do. Lamar's nasty. They had no Zay Flowers in that game, too.
Yeah.
It looked, guys like Isaiah Likely stepped up. I mean, they are so deep on skill positions. And then to have a running back like Derrick Henry who's really having a resurgence of a year, it's going to take a team that's really special up front that's going to have to stop them, and it wasn't the Steelers in this one.
It wasn't, dude. And it is. I literally said to Mike after the first drive, I was so much for the steel curtain defense, dude. Because it's that first drive, which seemed to take the entire first quarter. By the way, it was all running. It was just like Lamar, Derrick Henry. Like it was fake handoff, QB draw, give it to Henry up the middle, and they were gaining yards every time, and obviously scoring at the end of it. So, like, yeah, I mean the Steelers, like you said, came out so flat, and I don't know. It's just tough. I mean, you would think someone like the Steelers would be able to stop them, but they weren't. I mean, Mika Fitzpatrick was getting absolutely dogged, dude. Downfield. I mean, the secondary, and I guess, obviously at that point it is tough because it's like if you can't defend the run and they establish the run, and then all of a sudden Lamar drops back, you get caught off guard. Like, obviously, but that's clearly what the Ravens are trying to do here. So you have to find a way around that. And you would think, a coach like Tomlin would be able to figure out a way, but unfortunately, they're not. Like, they didn't, okay? And you had defenders like, Cameron Haywood. I mentioned Mika Fitzpatrick, Alex Highsmith, even Isaiah Loudermilk, guys who took control of the field on defense, who just did not do that, dude. And they really, like you said, never seemed like they were in control. And I think, honestly, like, Tomlin is in a little bit of question. I understand. I mean, you look at his record. He does great by the Steelers. Regular season appearances in the playoffs. Yes, we know, the Super Bowl he has had. But I mean, this is the narrative. This is like the narrative is he gets you the playoffs, but then he can't figure it out.
Well, that's
right there,
the trade-off.
dude,
It's like, what do you want in a coach? He's been there forever. He's never had a losing season.
Mm-hmm.
But do you value a coach that's never had a losing season that can only bring you one Super Bowl? You're going to lose in the first round every time?
And not for nothing, like, it was him who put all his stock in Russ.
Yeah.
Like, we saw Justin Fields, like, do really
I think
well.
they were 4-1 with Justin
Yeah,
Fields.
dude.
It's definitely a question going into next year. I personally don't think you can have Russ. Russ will never be a playoff winning Super Bowl quarterback ever in his career again. I think there are people on the market. Maybe that's a team that throws money at Sam Darnold.
Yeah, maybe.
First of all, I think you need another skilled player.
Yeah, you need a receiver.
I think Najee and Warren in the backfield. Najee was great for 1 year. Yes, he rushed for over 1,000 yards this year, but they play 17 games now. Like, everyone, like, it's nothing special.
Do you think it's weird that they didn't like 6 carries he had, dude? Like, why do they only have 6 carries?
I don't think he's effective anymore.
Really?
I really don't think he's effective. I think George Pickens is your only guy that can make that offense. Yes, Freiermuth maybe, but Freiermuth will never be your number one option on a team. I think he's a great tight end.
Very good.
But they need more skill to come into that team. And I think with the way the NFL is going, you need a quarterback like if Justin. I think you just stay with Justin Fields. I mean, they were 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
The way he can run the ball. I mean, he basically puts his health on the line.
Yeah.
And if he's willing to do that, then you kind of got to go with that. I mean, the way he ran the ball earlier in the year, it really stretched open defenses. I think Russ had a couple of good games throwing the ball, but I mean, you don't have the firepower to keep up with teams. And then if you look in this game, like the Ravens didn't really have the firepower with no Zay Flowers, but I mean, if you have a guy like Derrick Henry running the ball, and then
it's over.
I mean, they basically were going Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. And they got a little bit with Rashad Bateman, but that's a good team making it work. Their offensive line's good, and they really had no answer. And if a team has no answer for Henry, I don't know if you can beat that team because they really have both facets of the ball going right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I feel like to your point, moving ahead for the Ravens, it's like, yes, obviously Henry is going to be dominant probably, but I mean, not for nothing, like you're playing the Bills. Like, they're going to probably be scoring more than 14 points. You have to figure out a way to stop the Bills. And also, like, you probably have to figure out a way to have a threat downfield, to be honest, right?
You got to think that's going to be a high-scoring game next week. But depending on whether it's going to be in Buffalo, so I don't know. And I think it should be whoever wins that game wins the MVP. That's what it should be, coming between Lamar and Josh Allen. And talking about Josh Allen, let's go into their game. Broncos, Bills. A game that was closer than what people thought in the first half. I think it went – I forget what we went to half. It might have been 10-0 half. I don't know. But it was closer.
It was 10-0 half.
Sorry. The Broncos scored on the first possession. They scored on their first – they went up 7-0. Bo Nix looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I think as the game went on, you kind of saw the quarterback. And I don't want to throw shade. Bo Nix was great for them all year, but you kind of saw the quarterback that Bo Nix is going to be his whole career. He went down. They had a great first drive. But he just couldn't find anything after that. Everything went perfect that first drive. All the plays worked. The minute Buffalo made some adjustments, I mean, Bo Nix didn't have it. He's a game manager. He's a game manager. That's what Bo Nix is. He will never be a Josh Allen type making plays. He's going to do what the OC wants. He's going to make a couple flashy plays here and there, but that's who he is. Buffalo made adjustments to him. He could not make adjustments back to Buffalo. And since that was the case, Buffalo kept going. They kept going. And you get the lopsided score that we ended with when this game was closer than it looks on to like the middle of the third quarter. And in the minute we got to that middle of third quarter, Buffalo's playoff instincts kicked up. Josh Allen was missing some throws in the first half. He wasn't missing those in the second. The run game kept going. The defense kept going. And then you saw Broncos start making some of those playoff mistakes. First time being their mistakes. Buffalo's been there before, the home environment, and they started running away with this one.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of running, dude, I mean, James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards. I know, obviously, not like Derrick Henry numbers here, but I mean, I think for Buffalo, for James Cook, I mean, I think he's been a great running back for them this year. Certainly, I think putting in his time in terms of adding this offense here. And then, like you said, I mean, it's just Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things. 20-26, 272 through the air with
Unreal.
those 2 tutties. Keeping it clean. That's probably the biggest sign of maturation in Josh Allen, right? We'd see him probably throw a couple picks in these games.
Not anymore.
Not anymore,
And if
dude.
you look at who he's throwing to, it's like, I mean,
Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, I mean,
Dalton Kincaid.
it's crazy. And they had that big play downfield to, I think it was
Curtis
Curtis Samuel,
Samuel. Yeah,
the
it
long
was.
touchdown.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the difference in these playoff games. You're watching these drives go back and forth, back and forth. The plays usually are these big plays, like that quick drive, 70-yard touchdown that just like breaks a game open. And that's what the Bills have. They can do. They don't have all like the skill, like the wide receiver that you think of when you think of wide receivers in the league. But I mean, they have solid players, and that's all you need with a quarterback like Josh Allen who's going to get them the ball in the right situations. Like a guy like Khalil Shakir who just does not drop the ball.
Right.
He does not drop the ball. He's a steady wide receiver. He's great all year. Curtis Samuel. I don't know for a fact what's up with Amari Cooper. I don't know if there's an injury thing there. I don't believe so. I just haven't looked into it. But they trade for Amari Cooper. So there are pieces there. And James Cook has been great all year for them. So, and then the 2 tight ends. So they lack a little skill on the outside, but they have skill in the backfield. They have skill at the 2 tight end positions with Dalton Kincaid. This is a really good team. This is a team that I think next week is definitely going to be challenged with the Ravens. The Ravens, like we mentioned earlier with Derrick Henry, I think Derrick Henry can run on that defense. I don't think that D-line is as strong as some other in the league. And I think that's going to be a high-scoring I think that game's, put it in right now, classic. That's going to be a playoff classic next week that you're going to watch. It's going to be a late-night game on CBS. We don't usually get a late-night game on CBS. A little 7 o'clock start time on CBS. Tony Romo is going to be hammered on the broadcast.
Probably.
It's going to be, he's going to be blackout drunk. He's going to be thanking Jim Nantz the whole time. It's going to be a great time. Make sure that you're on the couch for that one next week.
By the way, Amari Cooper, back, whatever, spasm, stiffness.
Back spasms.
Was having back problems. Probably why they didn't use him as much. He was apparently listed on, I guess, day-to-day or on whatever for the whole week, participated in practice fully, but, obviously was bothering him. But again, I mean, that's just more of a testament to Josh Allen. I mean, he's another quarterback who he puts the ball where he wants. He throws with intent.
He's a stud.
And because of that, you put any receiver out there and he can hit him. All right,
He's a
dude.
stud.
I mean, not for nothing, the whole Stephon Diggs thing, leaving Buffalo, that people thought that was like gonna hurt them a lot.
No.
And it
If
really
anything, they
didn't,
just saved
dude.
money. They
Literally,
didn't have to pay him.
exactly. It saved Buffalo money. Josh Allen doubles down on himself for another season,
Josh Allen,
dude.
I think, is
amazing.
He is like if you could build a quarterback right now to be successful in the NFL.
Him.
I mean, it'd be Josh Allen. You see, New England's doing that, like Drake May.
Drake
May is going to be Josh Allen. That's a fact. But Pats going to be really good. But let's not talk about the Pats.
No, there's no
I
reason
can talk
to,
about
dude.
them forever. How good they're going to be next year.
They're not even playing right now.
They're not even playing right now.
They're golfing.
We're getting ready for the draft. But yeah, so just moving. Last couple notes on this game. Bills very good. Don't know where the Broncos go from here. I don't think anyone leaves. Bo's going to be your starter next year. Sean
Yeah.
Payton's going to be there. Their wide receiver core is getting a little old. I believe Cortland Sutton's going to be 32 next year.
Really? Marvin Mims?
Marvin Mims is good. Show that fake punt play. I think Sean Payton's a good coach. I think there was a reason they got there. There was a reason they were so bad the year before, and they got there. Kind of the same thing with Harbaugh.
Sutton's going to be 30.
Chargers and Broncos, you kind of got to look at the seasons the same way. We were so bad a year ago. We have to be thankful that we even got this far. Both disappointing in their games. Both did not play up to what I thought the teams could play up to in their games. But you have to be happy with the outlook of the whole year on the both of those teams going into a draft and going into next year. Hopefully just getting better and better and better. Hopefully Bo Nix can take another step. I don't think he will. I don't think he will take another step, but hopefully he does. Game manager. He's a game manager.
What do you have against Bo Nix?
I don't really like Bo Nix.
Really, dude? But I mean,
first of all,
yeah, go ahead.
I think he, how many years? 12 years in college. Yeah, he was in college for 12 years. Yeah, I think that's true. 12. And
I think that's true.
Yeah, 12 years. So he learned how to play the game in college. He was playing on, I think he was like 36 in college, and he was playing against 18-year-olds.
Come on.
And
he played in college for 5 years.
5 years. He played for 12 years in college, and then he goes into the league. Yes, he has some arm talent. He is a perfect example of why a team with the Broncos became good, because he played in college for 12 years, and he's a game manager, focus on the ball. And next year, Drake May will dominate him. Like he is just not. He's a game manager. I just don't think Bo Nix will they go to the playoffs year after year? Yeah, he'll take the Broncos to the playoffs. Will they do anything in the playoffs? Will they ever be able to beat a Josh Allen? No, because he doesn't have that factor. He just doesn't have it to him.
And you don't think Peyton could get him there?
No, I don't. And I don't think I don't think he has enough people around him in that team to give him that factor. Like, I mean, Mims. I think they need someone in the backfield. McLaughlin in the backfield. I don't have too much with. The defense is good. Defense is very good. I'll give him that. Defense was great all year. They have definitely great players. I mean, they have the best cornerback in the NFL. Pat Surtain is by far the best cornerback in the NFL. The defense is great. I just don't think that offense has enough pizzazz to be able to put up with. Like, when you think of the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, all three of those offenses are like, you don't know what's going to happen on every play.
Yeah, true.
Like, every quarterback can make plays, you don't know what's going to happen. A broken down play could turn into a 70-yard touchdown. I just don't think the Bo Nix will ever get there in his career to be that type of quarterback. I think he's like a Carson, not even a Carson. He's like a Kirk Cousins to me in his career type of
That's tough, dude.
But again, I'm shit talking him because my rookie quarterback didn't go as far as them.
Right.
So I'm a little hurt there. But I will say, congratulations to the Broncos. You got to the playoffs.
No, yeah, I mean,
lost by 20.
It's good. No. I mean, I think, in my opinion, I like Bo Nix, honestly. I thought, watching him in the first couple of games, I'm like, I don't know, dude. And the whole Sean Payton thing, I was like, what a fucking asshole Sean Payton is. Obviously, with him talking shit about Rodgers and the Jets, was that 2 years ago now? And then the whole thing with Wilson and Denver.
Well, he sucks.
It didn't work out. Yeah,
Rodgers sucks. I would talk
exactly. No, yeah, I know. But it just seemed like I was like Peyton. I was like, not for nothing. Like Peyton coming out of retirement. He's coaching the Broncos. And he's talking shit. I'm like, what if this guy is painting himself like an asshole? And then on top of that, the Russell Wilson thing didn't work out. So I was like, oh wow, so he really is an asshole. But then Wilson leaves, and then Peyton kind of figures it out. So maybe like Wilson, diva, we know, whatever. But you did too. You have to tip your hat to the Broncos this year. Peyton did figure it out, and I think a big reason is because of Bo Nix. To be honest, I don't know. I think if you put the right pieces around him, he could have that factor.
Yeah.
I think he ran for the second most first down conversions for a quarterback, behind Jane Daniels this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's got great legs. He's got the speed. If you do I would be like you said, they don't have many pieces around him. If he does have a good backfield, if he does have good receiving core, I think he could have a better season than 10-7. If you improve the team, I think he'll have a better season. So I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, beating the Bills, beating the Ravens, beating the Chiefs, that's a tough test for any team.
Yeah, it's a really tough division that they're in. Just
it is a tough division. I mean, both the Broncos and the Chargers are lucky the Raiders suck ass. Okay, dude, like that's
and they're gonna suck ass for a while. That team's gonna be bad for a long time.
In fact, they're kind of lucky that a lot of teams were sucking ass this year.
Yeah.
Because again, think about
Everyone's
if
sucking
Jacksonville, even Miami, or the Jets, if they were what they were supposed to be, all of a sudden, those 2 wild card spots for them don't look so enticing.
No,
you know?
definitely. And the Denver took a step forward.
Yeah.
Talking about a team that took maybe a step back. Let's transition over to the NFC. Packers, Eagles. Packers was a team I was super, super high on this year. Jordan Love was fantastic last year. He's getting a big contract extension, which I think was warranted. I think he deserved that contract. I still think Jordan Love is a great quarterback. I really do. And when this team's fully healthy, you could argue that it's one of the best wide receiver cores in the league.
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs, Christian. Why am I blanking on his last name? Christian Watson. Christian Watson. I don't know. I remembered that.
Jaden Reed?
Jaden Reed.
He's good.
Dontavian Wicks. I mean, there's 4 wide receivers that are studs. I thought there were some injury problems. I mean, remember Jordan Love went out early in the year. He was out for 2 games. They lost
wrist.
that game to the Eagles in Brazil. Even small games like that, when he was out, they brought in matter. Because if you look at that division, how good it was this year, where you have the Vikings, you have Detroit, you have the Packers, and for a little bit, for 5 weeks this year, we thought, whoa, the Bears might be something this year with that wide receiving core, with Caleb Williams. So every game mattered, and I think the Packers losing some of those maybe 1 or 2 games in the division led them into that 7 seed where they had to face the Eagles. And the Eagles, people think, are the best team in the NFC. I don't believe that. I think the offense still has some questions outside with A.J. Brown. I don't know. I still think Detroit's the best team in that division. But I thought the Packers had a chance in this game. I thought that maybe we'll get last year's Packers. Maybe we'll get not a vintage because he's so young, but just a Jordan Love performance that maybe we saw last year. Maybe something like that. And he was bad. He was real bad yesterday. I mean, I think he had 2 interceptions, and they both, 3 interceptions.
3 picks.
And they all were at the worst time. First of all, talking about bad omens. Kickoff. How about a fumble on the opening kickoff? Philly gets the ball inside the 20, and you're like, oh, here we go. Philly goes up 10-0 early. It felt like it was 20-0 the minute they went up 10-0. But then, Philly's offense took a step back, and this game was 10-0 for a while. And then I thought Green Bay missing that kick to make it 10-3 was huge. I mean, that's what I really saw that this weekend.
Dude.
You don't know how big these possessions are. I mean, look at the Broncos. They had a field goal to go into half to make it 10-3. They missed that field to make it 10. I don't know, but they missed a field goal before it. It was a doink. I remember right before
Going
half.
to half. It would have been 10-10.
10-10.
Yeah.
And they miss it.
10-7.
And then you look at this to make it 10-3 for Green Bay. They miss it. It's like these small instances in the game where stuff like that happens, and then there's one big play. They're in this game still. Green Bay's still in this game, and then boom, Dallas Goedert, 22-yard reception, stiff arms the guy in the face 3 times. He hits him in the face 3 times in the face.
Donovan or Donovan Walter?
Oh,
We're
sorry.
getting another call coming in.
Another phone call coming in. Stand
Another
by.
phone call coming in.
Let's take this one. This is going to be Tommy.
Who's on the line here?
Let's see. Stand by. Tommy, is that you? You're live on the show, dude.
It's Tommy. What's up, Tone? What's up, Ratty?
How we doing?
All good, Bubba.
What's going on, dude? What do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about the absolute insane level of quarterback play that we've witnessed this weekend. And honestly, I'm so impressed. Josh Allen is not a human being.
No. No. I mean, he's special. He's a one of one, I really think. Like, I don't get how they got that lucky. Remember how bad he was his first year with the interceptions and how inaccurate he was?
Yeah,
and
dude.
everyone wants to crucify these quarterbacks after 1 year, and it's like, this guy is a true built-in-a-lab one of one now. And he had to learn the league. He had to get adjusted to it, and it just shows you that time. It just takes time for some of these guys.
Yeah, they show, like, clips of his mechanics, first year to now, and he's an entirely different person.
He
like,
throws with his hips now.
Yeah.
Which is completely different,
which is so wild, dude.
Yeah.
And did anybody else get like an absolute chuckle at it? Remember did you see the post game conference? I think it was Tracy Wolfson. Is that who it was? She wasn't even in the frame. That's how much taller she was.
Yeah.
She was. And a couple other things. Obviously, Tone, I'm going hockey. Did you see what an absolute stand-up guy Marc-Andre Fleury is? was
So
signing
when he was honored,
autographs
yeah, dude, yeah.
What a guy.
for every kid in Vegas, and then I don't know. Do you think the Rangers figured something out? Or 4-1-1 in this calendar year?
Yeah, that's the big storyline, right? The new year, dude. They're turning a new leaf, new year, new team. It's so interesting, dude, because I've been boggling my mind with this last night, to be honest. I want to say yes. I mean, it looks like they're playing with more heart. I mean, I hate to use the word heart because I don't want to say this team wasn't playing with heart. Because I don't know, that's just crazy to say about like a professional team. But whatever they've done, I mean, it definitely seems they figured it out on the ice. Because I mean, they're playing harder hockey, and I think maybe having Igor coming back too from the injury, I think jump started a lot, and I think some words said. To the media, I mean, the past, since the new year, I mean, they're interviewing Vinny T, and he's just like stone cold, just like, I'll let you know when I figure this out, like, just in business, like they're in the office sort of deal. And obviously, I mean, I want to say something like that jump started the locker room here into playing better. But one of my biggest fears, which a lot of people are talking about around Twitter, is that how they're much better they're playing without Kreider starting for them. Which, I mean, I don't listen. Obviously, Kreider not having a great year, and maybe with him, I kind of, I guess think with my heart a little bit too much because I've seen this guy come to the team and develop. But I mean, damn, dude, like, I mean, not for nothing, it seems like Mika is playing better without Kreider on that line.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been impressed with Riley Smith. I've been really impressed with Sam Carrick and Adam Edstrom. What that dude. You want to talk about playing with heart? That he is a baller. And also, I don't know if you saw in the game against Vegas, Vinny Trocheck takes a shot from Zibanejad, and then back, and they were like, "Oh, that one hit him in the midsection." I'm like, I know exactly where that hit him.
Yeah, exactly. And that was that shot was like, I don't know, 8 feet off the mark, and it's Vinny T. But yeah, I mean, it's again, obviously great heads up play by him. And yeah, I mean, seeing Rempe and Edstrom on the same line. I mean, it seems that something that it seems the Rangers were trying to push to have that happen on the fourth line, getting those two big guys on the wings. Seems to be I guess working out. Obviously Edstrom logging up a lot more time in the minors too. And it looks like Rempe's not for nothing has improved the way he's been skating as well too. So you got to appreciate that. But I guess I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I think for me, Drury is still out. I think the Rangers still have a long way to go. Steps in the right direction, certainly. I mean, just the fact that the forwards seem to be back checking better. Like,
what's up with Berard? Why do you send Berard down? I love Brett Berard.
No, I mean, too, dude. I think he was someone when he
7
was
points.
up, dude. Yeah, I mean, he was gritty. I mean, he had opportunities offensively. I don't know. Maybe I think a lot of us just trying to, find the right combination.
I think it's crazy, like, the turnover you guys have had this year with, like, trading Kako. Like, I mean, that locker room must be all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually been thriving in Seattle now.
Yeah, I think he has like 4 points in like 7 games or something like that.
But you got to think that maybe it's a step in the right direction for you guys. I would have stayed with Berard up. I thought he's another skill guy that can give you goals. I think more scoring, the more better for you guys. But they sent him down. Did they bring Rempe back up? I never, as a non-Rangers fan.
It's been a carousel.
Yeah, as a non-Rangers
guys,
fan, can someone give me the why do we still play Matt Rempe?
Honestly, dude, for me, if I as a fan watching these games, the one thing they've lacked at some points were physicality and just like overall presence on the ice, dude.
You can bring in physicality that's mixed with skill guys. Now it's all over the NHL.
Oh yeah, you
now.
can. No, yeah, absolutely, dude.
I don't think there's any reason anymore in the new NHL to waste roster spots on guys that will not help your team score or defend. Like they're just there to hit. Like there's so many guys like a Pat Maroon that can actually help your team.
No, yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. Like, or Tom Wilson, you could throw him in there as well. But I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like the Rangers don't really have that big enforcer. I guess you could say, and not for nothing, dude. Like, because I'm right there with you. I think Matt Rempe, seeing the videos of him fighting in the offseason, I'm like, dude, how about you fucking do some skating drills? Dude. Yeah. But not for nothing, like when he is on the ice, like the team is immediately aware of it, dude. And you have to figure out a way to deal with him.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, especially if he's paired up with Edstrom too. I mean, you have two big bodies right there, which is why you're seeing, you know, the center, whether it be Brodzinski or whoever on the line, end up finding scoring opportunities. So I don't know.
And I know it doesn't garner you any points, but the Garden comes alive when that
true,
Red Sox
true, very true.
Mm-hmm.
And that counts for something.
It does count for a lot, dude. But Tommy, what do you think? Do you think this is like the pivotal turnaround moment, or like what do you see out there?
I mean, I think people underrate momentum in sports, and when you have it, you got to take it and run with it. So I'm hoping that our blue shirts do that, and you know, pull themselves up by the bootstraps, and we'll have a good January and February.
Yeah, it's all division games. I mean, you got to win those games.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and the last couple wins, you didn't beat nobody. You beat New Jersey and Vegas. I mean, come on, that counts for some.
Yeah, and not for nothing, you know, like leading up to that, I mean, the game against the Stars, you played better. You know, the dominant victory against Chicago, like there were signs that were kind of like, all right, like something's kind of going on here, like rightfully so. I mean, how many times, you know, is Laviolette going to be calling people out, or how many times it's just going to be just a gut-wrenching loss that they have to deal with, you know? So, I mean, the locker room has definitely been through a lot, and it is, like you said, it seems like momentum is shifting, and in hockey, I mean, that's so important.
And all it takes is Igor to say, all right, I'm taking control here. I'm the captain now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny to me. I mean, obviously it's New York media. It's a lot of high expectations for him. But I just feel like every year it's just like Igor has a little bit of a tough stretch, or there's some losses, or maybe there's like hints of an injury, and people are like, oh man, I don't know. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't help. You know, obviously you have Jonathan Quick, who obviously can get some good starts underneath there. But it's like I don't want to. Like, people are saying that Igor isn't the guy, or the team doesn't play as hard for Igor, or he's making these mistakes. It's like, not for nothing, dude. In my opinion, Igor is the one guy all season long who seems to be putting in that effort and honestly playing the best. Like it's normally the bad defense in front of him that you see that, you know, normally causes a goal against. But I mean, nonetheless, dude, I mean, I'm definitely happy that he's healthy and back. And like you said, when he decides to take over, hopefully, you know, like I know they're playing, I think, Colorado next up on the road here. I mean, like that's one of those games where you're going to need to rely on him.
Tony, from your lips to God's ears, I'm going to let you guys go. I don't want to tie you up for too long. Have a great show. I'll be listening.
Appreciate it, Tommy, dude. As always, it's a pleasure, man. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Peace out, folks.
Peace. That's Tommy right there, dude. Nice. 2 calls today, dude.
2 calls.
Got that out of the way, huh, Riley?
2 calls. 2 calls in.
2 kills in, dude.
We have one
Very
more,
good there.
one more game to get to over the weekend. We're on
more
our
NFL
last game of the weekend.
This was a tough one for me.
The best game of the weekend.
It was.
Finally, the commies. The Commanders versus the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks were favored in this game. They thought that the young quarterback in Washington would have no chance in this game. But wow. You watch that game as a Washington fan, that has to get you fired up. Like, the amount of poise that Jaden Daniels played with in this game, when they were down, when this game was tied, to go down the field with 2 minutes left and drain that clock out to get a kick. I mean, he was outstanding. Yeah, just drain that clock out. And he was outstanding in this game. I mean, that team, I am just pumped up, man. I mean, he was so good. I mean, I'm so jealous of him. The way that he was just able to control the offense and find. How about Terry McLaurin? He's been there for like 12 quarterbacks. He's caught a touchdown from 10 different quarterbacks.
His story is great.
He's 30 years old.
He's been through a name change.
When is his time gonna go? 3 name changes. They were the Redskins, and then they went over to the football team, and now they are the Commanders. All right, 3 teams.
Yeah.
10 quarterbacks. I think like 2 playoff wins in his whole career for Terry McLaurin. And for him to have a big game, you have to feel great for a guy, for him. And
great guy, man.
Great guy.
Great guy. Love him.
And then even like Bobby Wagner on defense, veteran leadership. I mean, for them to come in that game and play that well, and it's not like the Bucs played awful. I mean, Mike Evans had a great game. I thought the offense would be a little bit more explosive. I thought Baker would throw for a little more. I think he only threw for like 184. That's just not going to get it done in a playoff game, especially in a shootout. I mean, you knew that game was going to be pretty high scoring. You knew that Washington was going to score. I think Jane Daniels threw for like 250. He ran for 40 yards. Didn't seem like Baker had the offense to counter that. Bucky was good out of the backfield for them. It makes a decision now going into the offseason. Like, do you keep paying a guy like Rashad White, or you just go with Bucky full time? And remember, they didn't have Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
So Chris Godwin was
right.
hurt the whole year. He would have been a difference maker for that team. But it seems like it's another thing, another year where that division's awful. It always is awful. That division's so bad. And it just seems like whoever wins in that division loses in the first round. Like,
Yeah.
What are the Bucks going to do? That division, the Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Bucks. I mean, they won that division at 10-7. Just not a great division. They weren't battle tested. And you have a young quarterback come in and win on the road. And a great game last night. And you got to be pumped if you're Washington fans.
No, yeah, you are pumped. I mean, I will never ever forget the moment. And I guess my dad's Chips, I think, is the chip company. We were at Bar A, Lake Como, doing the sports port, dude. Definitely had a few drinks in us, dude. Not the Surfside. I forget what it is. It doesn't really matter though. Sun Cruisers.
Sun Cruisers.
Sun Cruisers, maybe? Yeah, maybe.
Hangover in a can.
In any case, dude, we're doing our show. The chip guy comes over, here's Chips, and he goes, by the way, Jane Daniels, franchise quarterback, F all you guys, F everyone else, dude. This is the time for the Commanders. We found our guy, dropped mic, walked away, and we're like, all right, I take it easy a little bit.
I mean, he's Lamar.
And here we are, because he is. He does.
I think he's a better thrower of the ball than Lamar.
He is. I mean, at least to start his career.
Look at his rookie class. I mean, Jane Daniels is the next Lamar. Drake May, the next Josh Allen.
I will say, get the fuck out of here, dude. I will say though, I mean, I know you're glazing Jane Daniels and the Commanders over there.
I'm not glazing him.
You were glazing him, dude.
Dude, I will glaze Jane Daniels all I want, dude. That guy is a stud.
No, he is.
Right?
He obviously had a great game. 268 through the year.
They can't run the ball though.
I mean, they can't.
They cannot run the ball.
I don't know what the deal is with Austin Eckler this year.
He's old, fat, slow, and bad.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck happened? What happened to his drive, dude? The guy who like snuck into the training
car
camp,
broke
dude.
Down. That's what happened to his drive. The car is in the shop, and then they try to take it onto the road with a flat tire. He's ass. He will be ass. He's not that good. But that's nothing against him. It's just he's old, and Brian Robinson Jr. wasn't that great last night. Their O-line's not that great in the run game.
Right.
They just can't run the ball, which is a problem going into.
It's gonna be a huge problem, dude.
Like,
and it's
the
like
Lions. They're Brian Branch, their pass defense is so good that you have to mix it up. You're gonna have to, and they're so hurt on defense that your only chance to mix it up, they're not gonna be able to.
Like, how many times are you gonna send Daniels out there to run?
And you're putting Daniels in harm's way every time he runs. Them not being able to run the ball is definitely a problem going forward. I still think that game next weekend against the Lions, if you were gonna pick one game that could be close that you didn't think would be close, is that game, just because of Daniels does have that. He can make something out of nothing. That game can be close because of that. He can make some crazy plays. The only thing that gets me nervous for them is if you shut down the run game and you double team McLaurin and shut down him, what else is that team going to be able to do on offense?
Nothing.
I know there's other wide receivers there that can make a difference, but I mean, you got to think if they shut down the run game for them in the pass game. But if you're a Washington fan, you're not worrying about next week yet. You're just happy you got through one round.
Yeah.
And when you look at the Bucks, I don't know how to feel about this team. Baker obviously signed the contract there, is the guy there. Wasn't great last night. That's just the bottom line. He was not that great. That fumble was the difference in the game. The fumble on your own 20, it was Baker's mistake. At least I saw him tapping his chest. Must have been like a little miscommunication.
It was his mistake, dude. I don't know what.
But that's difference in playoff games.
What the fuck happened there,
that
dude.
cannot happen in playoff games. I don't want to keep harping on it, but.
No, that is the mistake, dude. I mean, at that point, it's
as
what,
a Pats fan,
17,
I never
14,
saw
I think, or whatever it was.
Brady make a mistake like that in our playoff runs. Like, teams don't. When you turn the ball over on your 20 in the fourth quarter, you don't win games in the playoffs.
You don't.
That's the bottom line. Like, those turnovers change the outlook of your season. Like, you just don't win games when you turn over the ball like that. They turn over in their 20. I think they were up by 3 at the time. It was a chance to have a drive and go
17-14.
And instead, turnover.
And you had that big fourth down stop in the end zone. Yeah,
before that turnover, they stopped them on the 1 yard line. So you already escaped death.
Yeah.
You survived the Commanders' first and goal at the 1. You're like, oh, big stop out of the defense. The defense is pumped up going to sidelines. We just got the ball back to the offense. 2 plays in, offense turns around, defense has to go back out there. You knew the Commanders were going to score on that drive. And the minute they scored on that drive, you were like, I think the Commanders might have this one. And then it go down as 20-20, and then I'm like, oh, this game might go to OT because I think the Commanders get the ball back with like 4 minutes left.
Do you remember, like, also, at that point, it was, 20-17. Bucks get the ball back after giving up that score, which was just ridiculous. It never happened. Bucks marched down the field on a 3rd and 8. I don't know if you saw, but they fucked up the snap count.
Oh, yeah.
The ball gets snapped and nobody else moves.
Championship teams not have that. Even
can't do that.
Championship teams, that playoff winning teams, that doesn't happen.
That's something the Jets would do.
Yeah, and the Jets suck. Aaron Rodgers sucks, but that's for a different show. I mean, that organization's in shambles.
Well, it's for this show.
Maybe. It's not. I don't want to talk about it today. I could go on for just how bad that team is.
You can't go on forever.
And how bad that organization is. But besides the point, good organizations, find their coach right away. Mike Vrabel. But
get the fuck out of here.
No. So going back to that game, I thought it was actually like really cool to see. I think it was 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Jane Daniels got the ball. It was 20-20. I thought that even if they get a field goal, they'll get the ball back. I did not think that Jane Daniels had the poise to milk that clock from 4:30 down to a game-winning field goal at 0. I mean, that is a legitimate playoff winning drive, knowing that all you need is 3, and how am I going to get this clock down and down and down? And they just suffocated them. By the end of the game, it was 3 seconds on the clock, and here's a 30-yard chip shot field goal, which almost missed. Tony,
should have fucking missed.
I don't know if you can bring this up on the fly.
Oh, yeah, the field goal?
No, the whole field goal thing.
Oh, the dude
trying
kicker.
to put his helmet on. If I was a Commanders fan, I don't know if people saw this.
I'd be shitting myself,
I would be shitting myself over this guy. First of all, it's not a 55-yard. I think it was like a 20. I think it was a 30-yard.
It was 37-yarder.
37 yards. So this is like a chip shot for NFL quarterback kickers. Season on the line. He's
like their 6th kicker, dude.
Here comes, I forget, Zane Gonzalez to send the Commanders to the next round, and he was freaking out. I mean, Tony's gonna try to pull it up here, but I mean, I was crying laughing. Here it is, right here.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
19 seconds of him just freaking out.
Let me just share it here. Stand by.
Here it is. Season on the line.
Season on the line, mind you.
Season on the line.
And this is like we were saying, their 6th kicker, dude.
Here comes Zane Gonzalez.
And here's what he's doing right now, dude.
Everyone has all the faith in him in the world.
And he's freaking out.
And here he comes.
The NFL since 2021.
Just
like
freaking
out, dude.
He can't put his helmet on. He keeps adjusting. He has no hair. He has Lego here.
Why does he have to? And like, what's the point?
It took him about 7 attempts to get the
watch
helmet
it again,
on for
dude.
him.
Here it goes.
Here's the first attempt.
First up.
1, 2, 3, 4,
in the back.
5, 6. Touch.
7, 8, 9, 10.
10. 11, 12. Let's put the helmet back on. Here.
Wait a minute.
Let's do it again.
Fuck.
Oh, put it back on. Nope, not ready to go yet. I mean, holy shit. I mean, if I was a Commanders fan, I'd be shitting myself.
I
what happens?
can't, dude.
He steps up and, I mean, I thought it was not good for a second. A little doink action, but it was good. Washington wins. They go on to face the Lions in Detroit. There's 2 things that are going to happen in that game. We are either getting a blowout. It's either going to be Lions like 40 to something blowout, or Jaden Daniels is gonna have his team ready to go. And I'll tell you one thing about talking about coaches changes. You see a lot with how their team's ready to go. Dan Quinn brought that Falcon. Remember, 28-3. Everyone wants to shit on that Falcons team. He did bring that team to the Super Bowl. That was a very, very good football team. They should have won that Super Bowl. Obviously, some coaching disasters, some playing disasters in the last half of that game. Turns into an all-time classic. Patriots win. But that was a very good Falcons team and a very good coach team. He was out of for a little bit. He was defensive coordinator for the Cowboys for a little bit. And then the Commanders give him a shot to be a head coach again. And you could just tell that team was ready to play and ready to fight from the get-go. Compared to a team like the Steelers, with a guy like Tomlin who's been there forever, who you think is a marquee coach in this league, and his team was not ready to play. I think it shows you a little bit about changing the culture sometimes. Sometimes you need that kick in the ass to change the culture, to get these players ready to go. And that's why some of these coaching changes that we'll see in the offseason are so big for these teams, because you might be a head coach away from just getting your players in the right direction. That team was not supposed to win last night.
Right.
They were ready to play. They had a quarterback that wanted to play, and they had a wide receiver who's been there forever and wanted to win. You could just tell that's a team that wanted to win last night, and they got the job done.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, dude. I mean, we said it. Those two mistakes late in the game, late in the fourth quarter, in a one-possession game, you just can't do if you want to win. And they had, not for nothing, one really bad turnover and then another really bad play that led to them being forced to take a field goal. And then, you give Jane Daniels the ball back. It's tough, dude. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, the Bucs defense, you got to tip your hat to them, to be honest, because they honestly kept them in the game. It easily could have been, Commanders within 2 scores, to be honest, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and it's wild, too, when you go through the wins that got the Commanders here, and the Hail Mary against the Bears. You have the last-second touchdown against the Eagles. That's 2 wins right there. The one where the Saints went for 2 and missed it, and they won 2019. There's 3 wins right there. I mean, every game has almost been a playoff game for the Commanders. They've been playing like that all year, where it's just one game at a time, and you could totally tell that mindset carried over to the playoffs here. And that's why I think this team can have a chance against a team like the Lions, a team that maybe the Lions coming off a bye. Maybe they overlook them a little bit, and bam, they come out, and Jane Daniels hits a 70-yard touchdown. It's like, oh, the Commanders are this is a good football team. Do I think that they maybe have the defense to put up with the firepower that Detroit does? No, but you're also remember this is a team that beat the Eagles 2 weeks ago, so it's a good football team, and I'm excited to see where they go. So those are the 5 games that we got so far this week, all leading up to the one Monday Night Football game tonight that had a lot of drama around, especially from. I was just hearing something from the sports broadcasting side of it. This game having to be moved to Arizona has been a massive challenge for ESPN.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah, because so we're talking about Rams versus Vikings tonight. Supposed
Correct.
to be in LA, moved to
Arizona
because of the
wildfires.
And so if you don't know, NFL playoff games have around 20 extra cameras for the games. So around last week, they told ESPN we're moving to Arizona, and so ESPN has to build a whole new show in Arizona with all these. So I heard it's a big shit show down there.
I would imagine too, where the Rams play is way more new, right?
Oh yeah,
so probably way more accessible,
way more broadcast friendly down there, definitely. But they probably got it all figured out by tonight.
I mean, they have to. So.
They have to, but so this is definitely an interesting game to me because it's kind of. 2 teams have gone, and you have a team that wasn't supposed to be that good, that the quarterback is now playing really good and was exceeding expectations. Then you have a team in the Rams who we were like Matt Stafford, Puka's coming off that year, Cooper. They still have Cooper. Like this team could be really good. And they started off slow. They built up a little bit. Injuries hurt them, but this offense is still very good. Don't get it twisted. I mean, this offense is still very good, and it has to make you nervous as a Vikings fan to see how the Vikings looked last week against a good opponent. Because I think Tony said it earlier in the show, that was basically a playoff game. Both teams were fully healthy, not fully healthy, but they didn't sit anyone. It was to win the division, and the Lions ran the Vikings out of the arena. So this is a big bounce back game for Sam.
Huge.
I think Justin Jefferson is going to be big tonight. Big, 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 big. And that's why I think I have the Vikings tonight. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game that goes down to the wire, but I think Justin Jefferson makes plays down the stretch that proves that he's the best wide receiver in the league. And I said down the stretch, not early, because he will be double-teamed early. They'll get Addison. I think Addison explodes in the first half because they're going to be double-teaming Jefferson.
Really?
Then once Addison starts exploding, they're going to realize we got to change this up. We can't just let Addison get this free stuff. Once they change it up, Justin Jefferson takes over in the second half. And the running game, too, with Aaron Jones. I mean, they have players. But don't overlook this Rams team because you could say this is a fluky Vikings team that has a higher seed because of Sam. People still doubt Sam, and I still don't want to say you're wrong because I think you can doubt Sam until he proves it that he can win a big game like this. I mean, I was expecting Sam to come out last week and be like, oh, shit. Like, Sam's looked different the whole year. God, if he can come out in this Lions game and be like, oh, this is a different Sam Darnold. It was kind of the Sam Darnold that we've seen kind of before.
Yeah, exactly,
dude.
dude.
Okay, better than, like, Sam Darnold, what he was at his lowest.
It was better than his lowest,
but
yes.
not the Sam Darnold
No.
that kind of has played against shitty teams this year.
Yeah.
That we've seen.
And
against
it
the
is
Bills.
interesting because, I mean, not for nothing, dude. Like, I mean, with the Rams, too, it is like I think these are scenarios that they fucking strive in,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, last season they had
They're a playoff team.
They're a playoff team, exactly. If they get there, they can steal a few wins. Last year, halfway through the year, I think they were 4-6, I think?
And they made it work.
And they got to the fucking playoffs, right? Albeit, and they lost the Lions, the game-winning field goal, the Lions to get, So it's like, it's one of those teams that if you give them an opportunity, they will fucking rise to the occasion. And not for nothing, like Minnesota, we said that. I mean, the last time we saw them, it was their worst game they've played. So it's like, you said, in the back of people's minds, how could you not think Darnold could fuck this up? Who's going to win and what the score is going to be, I don't know, but you're going to find out right now, dude, in a Monday wild card frenzy, baby. It's the one game, it's the Monday, it's ESPN, it's Arizona, dude. Another, again, of course, like another wrench to throw yourself in there. Let's freaking go, people. Rams plus 2.5. The over-under, Riley, is 47.5. We mentioned it, dude. Vikings, last game of the year, not great. Rams, they have the momentum. McVay, Stafford, they've been here before. They've been doubted. What's your score? What do you got, dude?
I just want to say, from this game on, every game is going to be a banger in the NFL. Look at the upcoming schedule from this game on. It's going to be sick.
Bangers.
There's actually so many good teams left. Like, I can't wait for, like, Lions, Eagles, all those games. This game, we're going with the over of 47.
Yeah.
We have a shootout. You know why? It's a neutral site game. What happens in neutral site games in college? Shootouts. This is going to be a shootout, I'm telling you. Coming down to the last possession of the game. It's going to be close. Tony, what's the spread in this game? What do we have?
What did it say, 47.5? Yep, 47.5, dude. Minus plus 2.5 of the Rams.
Plus 2.5 are the Rams.
Tight.
Woo. I'm going to take the over at 47.5, and I'm going to take the Vikings minus 2.5
Wow.
to win. It's going to be a tie ball game, last second field goal, kind of what we saw last night. Give me the Vikings. Skull, 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 skull.
I like the call there, Riley. I don't know though. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I have to go with the Rams here. I'm sorry. I've been the Donald guy. I love Justin Jefferson, receivers,
LA communist.
Netflix. It's awesome. Whatever, dude. I love Minnesota, the purple, the Vikings. It's a great team. It's a great year. But if I'm not betting with my heart here. Okay? I'm betting here with my brain, and I cannot see Matthew Stafford coming in here and losing this game. I cannot see Sean McVay not coming up with some type of scheme to absolutely dismantle the Vikings defense. What, Riley?
And, I mean, LA is playing for LA. I mean, LA's in a turmoil right now. You got to think there's going to be some juice
That's
behind
right.
them.
Power of the city there.
For little LA strong.
It will be definitely interesting to see how the stadium ends up being packed out. Even if you're in Minnesota, you change the travel plans, spend more money, now your hotels. What are we doing, dude? I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, I love the shootout call. I love the last-minute drive call. I'm telling you right now, though, it's Stafford to Nakua. Classic 2-minute drill. They think it's going to be Cup. It's the Puka Nakua show. I don't give a shit about Cup right now, dude. I'm telling you right now, Stafford, hold on.
No.
37-yard passing touchdown puts the Rams up. I'm going to say it's the final score, 34-28. Give me the Rams. Give me the over. They live to die another day.
What do Vikings do, Tony? What do Vikings do?
By the way, that was your fucking frenzy. The frenzy's over.
What
the
do
one-game
Vikings
frenzy.
do?
Riley had his thing. I had my thing.
What do Vikings do?
What do Vikings do? They rape and pillage.
They go and conquer new lands. And State Farm Stadium in Arizona is one of those new lands that will be conquered tonight by the Vikings. Give me the Vikings. Give me the
We'll see
Vikings.
what happens,
Give me the
dude.
Vikings.
You know, every so
Last
often
second
those
field goal.
Vikings get bitch slapped and sent back home. Okay,
Nope,
dude.
they take a fucking axe and they kill the Rams, but they won't kill them. It will be a last second field goal.
No, yeah,
It'll
this
be
is actually going to be
sacrificing
I think this
Rams
is going to be a
tonight.
great game, dude.
It will be a great
Sacrificial
game.
Ram.
And like I said before, every game from now, if I could make a bet, I wish there was like
Wiki!
if there was a market for like, can you bet every game being good? And you know what a good game is. I would say this game on
Very good
Every
there.
game will be good. If you, I'm telling you, go look. I was looking at the schedule last night. And
Symmetrical,
I was
Tony.
I was just getting excited. I mean, Sunday night next weekend, we're getting Bills Ravens.
That's going to be sick,
I mean,
dude.
that's gonna be sick.
Sunday night. We'll be at the Horseshoe.
Sunday night.
With that game, that's going to be sick at the
And
Horseshoe,
then,
dude.
like, Eagles, Vikings would be sick.
Yeah.
I think Detroit Commanders is going to be a shootout. And then, I mean, come on. Championship weekend, if we get like a Detroit Eagles and then like Bills Chiefs again.
Dude, that would be sick.
Oh, I hope Mahomes lose. I fucking hate Mahomes so much.
Yeah, I hope he does lose as well. But not some people in the comments do. We should get to them. Starting off with, I guess we'll start off with my cousin. My cousin Casey says, hey, Aunt, who's going to win, Vikings or Rams? Well, if you're still tuning in, you know I say Rams, Casey. But Riley doesn't think so. It doesn't really matter. Brian Barnaby says there's no opportunity the Chiefs will beat them by 2 scores this weekend. Come on, Tony. Embrace the dynasty. Kelsey's your boy.
Is there no opportunity the Chiefs beat them by 2 scores?
No, that's what he's saying. There's no opportunity here. The Chiefs will beat them by 2 scores, he's saying. Like, there's no opportunity. It's Chiefs. I mean, it's, when Brian sees, Patrick Mahomes, he gets a little fuzzy inside, and that's it, dude.
Cancun.
Cancun.
That will be where the Rams will be next week, in Cancun.
I'd be curious, if I bet Brian would trade Sam for Patrick Mahomes right now in Cancun. Absolutely, dude. That's right. Michael Thiefo says, should the Jets pick him up?
Mike, where are you tuning
in
in from?
regards to listen, dude, this is a show. Like this isn't like this is a show. Like
Yeah.
like
And we had to do
sometimes
2 calls. too.
sometimes you call in and you don't get on. Sometimes you comment and it doesn't get read because listen, man, sometimes the time has passed. All right. Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin?
No, that would be dope.
That would be crazy.
I think he's close to dead.
Oh, Tomlin.
Oh, Mike Tomlin.
That would be great. I mean, I can't see Pittsburgh moving on from him yet, though. I don't know, dude. I mean, not for nothing. I don't know, dude. I mean, I
Jets
guess
suck.
maybe, but the Jets suck. Why would you want to go there, dude? You have to pay him a lot of money, and it's like also he's
No one wants
also
to
a
play
defensive coach.
For the New Jersey Jets. No one does.
I'll coach. My mother also says, good morning, fellas. And then my Uncle Richie says, defense wins football games. There's no doubt about that. I mean, if the other team isn't scoring, you're probably going to win here. I'm going to take a I don't know. I can't say his last name. Jonathan Shonkup.
Yeah. Sean Cup.
You think that's how it's pronounced?
Definitely.
That's JD talking sports. Hey, Riley and Tony.
What's up?
And then Michael says, the legend, Tommy. And then Josh B, yes, it is unfortunate, dude.
The run.
The Baker run is over, dude. He mentions that the Commanders also went through 2 owners. And then Tommy says for the kicker of Washington, he does have OCD.
Yes, I saw this.
But God Christ, be ready. I mean, yeah, it is, again, like if I'm watching that, I know if it is OCD,
Did you
it's
throw
fine,
in
dude.
God Christ?
I threw in the God Christ.
I was gonna say, where did that come
He didn't
from?
say God Christ. I said God Christ. Then Kev Dew, speaking of God Christ, says, let's go. Do we want the smoke? He's hyped. The 3-0 start. Bang, bang.
Kev
Riley, what's
Dew.
good, my guy? Nice to see you
What's up,
again,
brother?
dude. He also says blowout by the Vikings, 35-14.
I can see it. I can see it.
Are people underselling the? I mean, honestly, I was the guy who was off the Rams all year. But then again, I was like, if they do make it to the playoffs, though, that's the time where they're going to shine. And then this is it, dude.
I don't want to be this guy. It's like an easy take, but like, I think it just comes down to Darnold. Like, if Darnold can sling the ball around and have a date, I think you could have that 34-14
Have a
score.
date?
Now, if he throws 2 interceptions, you might get closer to that 28-28 type of going into 3 minutes left in the fourth. I do think it's going to be high scoring on both sides. I don't see a world where this is like a defensive masterclass.
Yeah, I can't see that either.
There's
dude.
no way. There's no way. Actually, you know what? I would say this is not betting advice, but you should throw an absorbent amount of money on the over.
Absorbent.
Again, not betting advice.
Like absorbent. Like very absorbent.
Exorbitant, yes.
Exuberant.
Exorbitant?
Exuberant.
Exuberant. I don't know. They're the same word.
Play ball.
You know what I mean out there.
Pending.
But I would definitely do that if I were you. What's pending?
Extra points pending. But I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it around the NFL, dude. I mean, I don't think it'd be. Kev Du's wrong with the blow up, by the way. Kev Du, I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, we gotta figure it out with the picks, dude. The playoffs having a little tough time. Week 1, we destroyed the TCA though in the regular season, so they can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. You know?
Ooh.
What?
Playoffs are the only thing that matters.
No, I mean, honestly, it is. I mean, this is the reset. Doesn't matter what happened in the regular season. This is it now. I did say that, and that's true. I mean,
Can
it's
we
true for
get
any team.
tracking on Tony's picks for the whole year? What do you think that would be?
Even with hockey and everything?
No, for football. Say you were the coach of your betting team, would you be fired?
I don't think so. Last year I would have been fired because we were high on the Zach Wilson, the Jets train.
You know how dumb that sounds?
You know what, dude? I saw Zach Wilson last night in a Broncos uniform.
Yeah.
Shaking hands.
Yeah, he's a backup for the Broncos.
Should have started him, dude.
That was actually that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
That he's a backup.
You were stuck up last year on the Zach Wilson and the Jets.
Why is that funny, dude?
Because
it could have been good, dude. They would beat the Chiefs.
How could that have been good?
Well, he would have thrown for touchdowns instead of interceptions.
Yeah, pick sixes. He would have thrown for a lot of pick sixes.
You're a pick six, dude. All right. Come on, let's go.
Well, it should be an entertaining night tonight. I'll tell you what, it's going to be entertaining. It's been entertaining all weekend, especially when my Bruins a big win. Let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes! McDavid shoots! Top shelf! He scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle! Great hit! That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save!
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net between the legs and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
Okay, now there's two teams, Rangers, Bruins, both not having great years, so that's a good thing. It's not like one of us has. I mean,
why is that a good thing?
Well, the Bruins.
Wouldn't you rather be having a good year?
Yes. Technically, the Bruins are
yes.
better than the Rangers this year, but both teams not that great. Now we heard some news come out of Boston. Some radio hosts cooking up some nonsense.
Dude, some absolute nonsense, dude.
Some buffoon saying that guys that have played together for 10 years, gone to each other's weddings, go on vacations together. David Pastrnak, Brad Marchand, been on the same line. Remember that line with Bergeron? It was known as one of the best lines in hockey in history forever.
Calm down here.
No, fact. You can look it up. They said that they have a little riff in between them, that they're beefing. Brad Marchand comes out, speaks to the media, makes an Instagram post, all the soppy Instagram posts of them being together. He says, lions don't worry about the opinions of sheep. Great caption, kind of like a middle school basketball. Like I would post that probably at like middle school hockey pictures. Kind of a cringy caption. But he says there's no riff there. The guy's just making stuff up, which probably happened. I mean, Boston sports media loves to make stuff up. I think that was totally fabricated, but it's easy to draw straws, easy to make up things when a team's not playing well. I mean, you lose 5 in a row, and then on Saturday, so you lose 5 in a row, then you're taking on the Panthers, who have been just killing us over the last couple of years. Everyone remembers
They've been going through a little bit of something recently, though.
The best NHL team of all time 2 years ago. Oh, this team's going to win a Stanley Cup, no doubt. Panthers beat us after we're up 3-1 in
Game
the series.
7, TD Garden, lost.
Then the next year,
at
round two, Panthers beat us in 6 games and
lost.
overtime again, lost. So,
they got TD Garden in Game 6.
So it
lost at home.
They've had us. And then opening night this year, they beat us like 7-1. So
at TD
it's
Garden.
been tough. So we
lost at home.
We lose 5 in a row. Where I see the Panthers on the schedule, I'm like, shit. You know, what do the Bruins do? They go and play a hard game. Oliver Wahlstrom scores his first of his Bruins career. You'd think, damn, this team's turn. This could be a big win here. You're up 3-2 with 10 seconds left. Panthers on a fluky ass goal score with 1 second left in the third, and my mind goes to this team's ass. You know, we're not going anywhere. Luckily, we get a lucky bounce in overtime and we win. Can that be a win that turns around? I think we're sitting in a wild card spot right now.
Really?
This is a team that, I mean, if I just let a 2-minute Boston rant here just for you. I don't understand the way the NHL is going now, it's young skill, young skill, young skill. You need these skill guys. You need young. You need exuberance. You need depth, and you need speed in your lineup. And what did the Bruins do? They go out in the offseason, and they sign old, widely veterans. I mean, I don't understand it. You have Matt Poitras, who, yeah, he's still learning the NHL game, but you send him down during the year to Providence. It's all these old guys. You have even our top line, you have Marchand up there who's still putting up great points, but it's just, I feel like the team's getting old.
When
you have a team like this, when you have a team that's teetering around 500, teetering around the playoffs, it doesn't make you feel good as a fan knowing that team is super old, being like, damn, like if we barely make the playoffs this year, what is next year going to look like when these guys are another year older and we haven't drafted well in the last couple of years and we don't have these young guys coming in?
Mm-hmm.
So this year has definitely been. Now, can this team turn around and make the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs? Yes, they have playoff experience. I wasn't a big fan of firing Montgomery that quick.
Neither was I.
I don't think it makes sense. You look at a team like the Rangers that was in a way worse spot than us when we fired Montgomery, and they didn't panic. They kind of stayed with Laviolette. Now, some of you might think that was the right decision. Some might think that was the wrong decision. That's up to you. But I think firing Montgomery that early, and he got $5 million from St. Louis 3 days after he was fired. I mean, he was a hot commodity. Like, everyone wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was one of the best coaches in the league, and to fire him that quick, change over. I don't know. I think it'd be different if you had a super young team that you needed a spurt in the locker room and you're like, let's change up the culture, let's get these guys going. You have a super veteran team that's been through it 100 times. I don't think a coaching change really changes everything, like maybe systems, but so the Bruins make some changes. They look good after the coaching change, then they look bad, lose 5 in a row, then they beat the Panthers. So
I think they lost like 7 in a row.
yeah,
didn't they?
we're hoping that as a Bruins fan that this maybe a Panthers win could spark something. But I mean, you don't know. Toronto's playing well.
Yeah, Toronto's playing really well right now,
Yeah.
but they blow it historically. You know.
Well, that's the thing. It's like we could face Toronto in the playoffs. We could sneak into the playoffs, and I'd be like, we're gonna beat Toronto.
Exactly.
But that's when just the Bruins. That's the outlook on the Bruins. And we talked about the Rangers earlier in the show. It's kind of about the same thing with them. Can they turn it around after their next couple wins? So it's kind of the same thing for them. I do want to touch on some teams that maybe we don't touch on a lot in the Western Conference.
Oh, let's go, dude. Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
The Western Conference is super interesting to me because you have these teams like the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
The Wild, no one really had huge expectations coming into the year for them.
Yeah.
Marc-Andre Fleury's last year, like how cool would it see to Marc-Andre Fleury make a deep run in the playoffs in his last year?
Sick, dude.
And then you have a guy like Kaprizov, who is a stud. And it just seems like it doesn't happen a lot in other sports where these teams kind of just break out. Like, you don't think they're going to be that good and they break out. This year, Capitals, no one thought the Capitals were going to be that good.
No one.
They were not that good last year. What did they happen? They get off to a hot start and they just kind of break out. The Wild, they just break out. And the same goes down to that Bruins team 2 years ago. They were the best team in NHL history. No one thought the Bruins were going to be the best team in NHL history.
All roads lead back to the Bruins.
They just got off to a hot start and they broke out. Happens a lot. And it happens in the other way with a team like the Rangers. So it's supposed to be very good. They trended in the opposite direction to start the year. I think it's weird how hockey, however you kind of start the year, is kind of like your path of the year. Like if you start, like the Wild start like 9-2, and it's like you kind of just keep that momentum going.
Yeah.
And I find the Western Conference very interesting because of that, because there's a bunch of teams like that. I look at a team like the Utah Hockey Club that might have a chance of making the playoffs in their first year. But it's all teams like that. And one game that stood out for me that has to do with one of these Western Conference teams was the Anaheim Ducks. I don't know if you saw over the weekend. Cutter Gauthier returning back to Philly.
Yeah.
And I think he's a pigeon. Like I think it's one of the worst moves I've seen in a long time for a young kid to request a trade at 20 years old. I mean, he's going to be hated by that fan base forever.
Should be.
He was awful in that game. The Flyers won. Good for them. I mean, they used that motivation. But I think that's also good for the league. I think you see a lot of like drama stuff like that in basketball and like the NBA and maybe football. You don't see it a lot in the NHL. For a young kid to have a fan base turn on them, good for the league, honestly. But I mean, what a wild move out of him at 20 years old to be like, I want to go to the Ducks. Just wild.
Why? Exactly. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe.
I never got the whole why. It was because like he didn't want to. I don't know. He didn't want to be there. He
didn't want to be in Philly.
It all happened during the World Juniors last year, and the Flyers the World Juniors was in I think Prague last year or somewhere in
Sounds
Europe.
about right.
And the Flyers sent all their top brass over there to talk to him. He was like, "No, I don't feel happy here." How can you not feel happy somewhere if you haven't played a game there? You don't even know the fan base. You don't know what it is to play like in Philly. We all hate Philadelphia as like their fans. You know why we hate them? Because our fan bases are like the same thing. We're all passionate. Like being an athlete in Philadelphia must be one of the best things ever. You have a fan base behind you.
Yeah.
If you play bad, they're on your ass. But isn't that what you want?
Exactly.
You go to Anaheim. Who cares about you there?
No one.
No one cares about you there.
That's what Jacob Trouba is.
I don't understand. I don't understand. The only good thing coming out of a small market right now is San Jose, who at least has Celebrini and Will Smith, who are kind of looks like that. I know they're low in the standings, but it looks like that franchise might be taking a little bit of a turn in the coming years with those two guys.
I love that, dude. Honestly, I was always a big Sharks fan. Obviously, Patrick.
I mean, they were great
Marlowe.
when Marlowe was there, and Eric Carlson and Jumbo Joe. You remember those teams?
Yeah,
Martin
dude.
Jones in goal. They went to the Stanley Cup final.
They lost to the Penguins in 2017.
Yeah, around dude. They were nasty.
I was rooting for them so hard.
Was in his prime.
Logan Couture, dude. That guy, I hated him so because he kept getting injured.
Yeah.
Every fucking 10 games he would play, he'd tear his ACL.
And that's when they had the Shark Tank. I mean, that place was buzzing.
My God,
and then it seemed like
dude.
they went through the real low of the low.
They did.
And then you come in here and you have that wasn't with Carlson. That was with Brett Burns was on defense for that team. Carlson came in later when they were trying to revamp the Sharks. Yeah. And then he went over to Pittsburgh. But
Brent Burns, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, he was nasty there too. I mean, they had weapons on that team. Then they obviously had to rebuild. And it seems like Will Smith and Celebrini now coming in as kind of they're low in the standings, but they're better than last year. Next year they'll be even better, and they're kind of going up. One team that has not been good. The Blackhawks. You bring in Bedard.
Yeah.
You got to think that team's going to take a turn, and
they don't.
They just don't take a turn. I mean, Bedard comes in. They've already fired 2 coaches while Bedard's been there. It's like it's the same with NFL quarterbacks. It's like you don't know how good a player is until a coach has been there for a while. Like no player's ever good when you're rotating through coaches, rotating through leadership, and for Bedard to be there for less than a year and a half to go through 2 coaches, like. Different players coming in and out. I think they're going to trade Hall at the deadline. I mean, it's just a shit show.
Which just sucks because I really like Taylor Hall, and I think he's someone who definitely got forgotten about. Honestly, he's come a long way since his days from the Bruins.
I thought the Bruins should have kept him.
Yeah, I would have, dude. I mean, he's got a high hockey IQ. He's got a big body, dude. He can definitely lay it down, and I'm sure it's great for Bedard to be to watch him and to learn from him right now, which is great. I mean, and Bedard has had solid production. I want to say,
he has
20 goals.
Points this year. I mean, he's been good. I mean,
he's been good, but it's like. I don't know. For me, it just seems like that the Blackhawks cannot get past like the Joel Quenneville thing. Like it's what it seems like it is, dude.
Like people like hockey isn't like if you say you have a first round talent in basketball that's as good as Bedard, he's on the court for 35 minutes of that 48-minute game, like 40 minutes of that 48-minute game.
Yeah.
Hockey, it's like one player cannot turn around a franchise. I mean, they have to put players around Bedard, young players too, like. Not Taylor Hall, who's 30-something. Not Nick Foligno.
Well, they got Donato. Donato's really good.
He's good, but he's still. They need more young talent.
They do, yeah.
They need more young talent around him. And kind of my last thing, going around the league here that I wanted to touch on, talking about young talent. Trade deadline coming up in about a month and a half. A lot of talks out of Vancouver of what are they going to do with Pettersson and JT Miller. One of them's going. We know that for a fact. One of them is going. The stakes are high right now. A lot of teams bidding in. I saw some rumors that the Bruins are in for Pettersson. The thing is that trade package would have to be really big.
Yeah.
And it's funny how quick stuff falls apart. Where I looked at that team last year and I saw Pettersson, what's his name?
Brock Besser.
Besser. I would say Besner. Besser.
It's a tough thing to get through, dude.
JT Miller, Quinn Hughes. I mean, the goaltending's there. They made it to the playoffs last year. I think they took Edmonton 6 games. Might have even been 7.
Yeah. I think it was 7.
I think it might have been 7. And it's one of those things that you see and you're like, oh, this team's going to turn. It's kind of like football. You expect now that the Broncos are going to begin the playoffs next year. And what happens this year? It comes out there's a report that Pettersson and Miller don't agree with each other. There's a coaching riff.
Ridiculous.
There's stuff going on in the locker room. And the team's not good. And it's just crazy how quick stuff falls apart. Now they're going to trade one of those guys, and now the shit's really going to hit the fan. You trade one of those guys, now it's almost like you're rebuilding again.
Yeah, dude.
Unless you get a really good package back and you can just kind of jump right back into it. But losing a guy like Pedersen, like I would trade Miller. I don't know what the contract situation is. I know Pedersen has a big contract, I think, but I would trade Miller before Pedersen just because of age and how good Pedersen is. A world-renowned player. I mean, he is. If you put him on a team that's in a race right now, I mean, that's a playoff-changing move. Like that team.
Oof. JT was just re-signed last year.
He was just re-signed last year. So that's
for 7 years.
That's where the business comes into things where maybe you don't want to trade him, but you have to. Because that riff, obviously, as we've seen, is not creating any positives out of that team. Where are they in the Let me check right now. I thought I saw them below the standings.
They're in the wild card, no? Yeah, they're in the second wild card right now.
They're in the second wild card space right now.
Yeah, but I mean, not for nothing, dude. I mean, I know, I don't know. And for me, the West, the way it looks right now, it's going to be probably some combination of the way it looks right now to me. I can't see the Flames.
West is loaded, huh?
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, they're pretty stacked. I mean, the Kings are having a great year.
Look at the Avalanche.
Dude, the Avs, I can't believe it. I mean, they were off to a horrific start. They went out, they got Georgiev, right? And then he sucks. They traded him.
They just that was the difference
They
maker,
got rid of him, dude.
Their two goalies now is a difference maker.
They got not Markstrom.
They brought in
Wedgwood and
then they brought in the guy from Nashville.
Blackwood. Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood.
No, so they brought in
They have Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie and Blackwood. I'm pretty sure, dude. Because I'm like, wow, they have both Woods who were both on New Jersey. I'm pretty sure.
I think they brought in
Scott Wedgwood, Mackenzie Blackwood.
Okay, yeah. So they made double goalie change.
Yeah, and
which
they
is a crazy
ridiculous,
move to make.
dude. Crazy, and then to be successful on the other end of that.
And then if you look at where they are in the standings, they're technically in the same position that Boston's in.
Mm-hmm.
They have 7 more games won than Boston, so
which is ridiculous.
It shows you how much the West is kind of more open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Kings 24-11. The Flames, who are 5th in the Pacific, are 20-14. Better record than the Bruins. They're 5th in the Pacific. So,
which is wild.
I think this is a year of the West. I think the last couple of years it's been the year of the East has had better teams. But the West really looks strong this year. You look at the Kings, guys like Alex Turcotte coming in. And the Kraken, who went to the playoffs last year, took a step back. And they brought in Capo Caco, who looks like maybe turning a new leaf there. But
yeah, he is.
The West, I think, is where the Stanley Cup's going to run through this year. Because, like we said, the NHL is one of the biggest ones. It doesn't matter where you end up as long as you make the playoffs. An 8 seed can beat a 1 seed. Like, if the Avalanche get in as a wild card and have to play like the Jets, I think the Avs might be favored in that series. Like, the Avs still are so good.
Oh, definitely. Against the Jets, too, yeah, you never know. Although Connor Hellbuck's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be tough, dude.
And the firepower that the Stars have still, like...
Yeah, true. By the way, I just looked up Pedersen's contract, which is, like, oh, my God, dude.
$11 million,
11.6 per year until 2032.
And so here comes the decisions that you're going to make.
How the fuck are you going to move these guys?
So which team is going to take on that contract?
Which team is right, dude? The Rangers, I don't think, can take on either one.
Which are they okay with letting go of those? Because obviously both of those guys are supposed to be cornerstones of their franchise for the next 8 years. Are they going to be okay with giving them up?
That's fucking wild.
Like, it is decisions, business decisions coming up for them.
I never really they traded that guy Marchenko. I think they traded him last year, and I thought he was going to be a great piece. I think he traded the Islanders actually.
What are the Islanders?
Islanders are fucking garbage, dude. I mean, they're still a team that can't fucking handle like third periods and overtime here. Couple of comments here. By the way, Augie says got him.
Augie.
Showing off the Air Force Ones, dude.
Got him.
Tommy says Cooper, Brindamore, Sully, and Cassidy, best coaches in hockey. Monty is close, and he says at the end of the day, Torts is his favorite, dude. I don't know if you saw, but I guess maybe it was over the weekend. But Torts was arguing with one of the refs.
Oh yeah,
and literally like pushed his players like off the bench to make room for him to get down and be fucking yelling.
Torts is.
I love Tortorella.
I mean,
dude.
he is old man that yells at cloud. I just saw a clip of him that he got angry at a press conference because he doesn't like calling timeouts anymore. Because during the timeouts, the arena plays music and he has to yell at his players anyway. He says that he likes timeouts to be a calming thing where he can just talk to his players. But since they play music so loud in the arenas nowadays, he doesn't even like calling timeouts anymore because he has to yell.
I remember him saying that.
Yeah, so that's just old man that yells at clouds out of him. But he gets his players to play hard.
Yells at clouds.
And you like that one?
That was a good one.
The first one's free. So
All right, buddy.
yeah. So getting into kind of the slate for tonight, Tony.
Oh yeah, dude.
Let's take a look at some of what's going around the NHL tonight.
Do you want to do a frenzy? We can do a quick frenzy.
I say we hit a quick frenzy.
You want to go? We have a big slate. It's a
how
three-game
big's the slate?
It's a 3-game slate,
Oh,
dude.
quick frenzy.
Let's start it. A quick little hop, skip, and a jump over here to our beautiful Monday. January 13th month is flying by. The whole year will be gone before we know it, Riley. And we were just talking about him, so why not start in Philadelphia? We're going to go to the Wells Fargo Center, 7 p.m., dude. The Flyers are taking on the Panthers. Florida here, coming in here as the home favorites, minus 190. Your over-unders, 5.5. You'll get them. I mean, it's the Panthers, the usual suspects, the stacked team. Bobrovsky looking like an absolute animal. But wait, I mentioned the skid earlier. They've lost 3 of the last 5 to good teams. Boston, we mentioned, Colorado, Carolina. Flyers here just snapped a 5-game losing streak by beating Anaheim 6-0. Do you foresee a similar score here tonight?
So, I want this known. I'm going to go 3 for 3 on these picks.
Okay.
And I want this known for tomorrow's show.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to be here.
No.
Just knowing that Riley's going to go 3 for 3.
Okay.
Maybe Tony gives me a good handshake, $5. So, Panthers going to win this game. Bounce back game. Kachuk scores 2 goals. Panthers in regulation by 2 goals. They win by 2. Empty netter. Panthers. Give me the Panthers in this one.
I mean, I think it's a chalk situation. I would agree with you there, dude. Give me the Panthers. I'm thinking, honestly, Bobrovsky could possibly be getting his second shutout of the season tonight. I say Panthers go on to win this one 2-0. Panthers and the under, dude. Next game, 7:30 p.m. NHL Network here. We're going to go to Chicago. The Blackhawks, another team we've been talking a lot about today here, are facing off against the Flames. They've seen the Flames twice already this season, so this will be third and final, and they've lost 2 out of the 2 times, being outscored 9-5, dude, which is why Calgary comes in here at minus 140. The over-under is 6.5. Flames back-to-back wins in California. Now here in Chicago, what do you got? Blackhawks losers of 4 of the last 5.
Hungry dogs run faster. Give me the underdogs. Give me Bedard. Let's get Bedarded. He's going to score 2 goals. Blackhawks in overtime. Bedard, game winner. I want that clipped, and I want it shown when it happens.
I honestly typically would go Chicago here because Calgary sucks, I think. But I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. I'm going to stay chalk. Give me the Flames. Jonathan Huberdeau comes in here. 2 goals and the assist. Maybe Bedard gets the goal. Maybe Patuzzi can get a goal. But at the end of the day, Flames win this one. I'll say 4-2. So that's Flames and just on the under. Let's go to last game, perhaps the best game here. We're going.
Flames have been thriving this week, I'll tell you what.
Let's go to Edmonton here as the Oilers are taking on the LA Kings here. This is probably a great value bet, I would imagine. Kings at plus 175. Over under is 5.5. Kings beat the Oilers late December 4-3 in OT. And haven't looked back since. Both teams, though, winners of 4 of the last 5. The Oilers just beat Chicago 2 days ago. Kings had dropped one in Calgary, but looking to bounce back here. What do you say, dude?
I'm a simple man here. Never bet against a city that has a wildfire going on in it. They're playing for the city. They're playing for everyone. Never bet against a city that has something going on in it. So, what? Boston strong. Bruins won. Red Sox won the World Series that year. LA wins this game. They might win out for the city. I'll tell you what.
I do love the Kings in this one. Fuck the Oilers, although Skinner's been having a great season for himself. But the Kings are going to win this because they're a better team on paper,
And
even though they may not
hearts.
be. They do play with heavy hearts here. Quentin Byfield, 2 goals, the assist tonight for him. Kopitar, whatever, usual suspects. Kings win this one 5-1 decisively. Kings end the over. And just like that, actually, that's the end.
And that is your NHL coverage for today.
I forgot the short slate almost.
I want to get into one last thing before we let you go today.
All right, real quick. We had to do the pack, by the way, too.
What pack?
Pump for the pack.
Just a quick hit on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, what do you got here?
Just because I don't think people understand how important this PGA Tour year is. And I beg you to lock into these PGA Tour events because every tournament matters when it comes to, I don't know what's happening in October or late September, the Ryder Cup. All these points matter. The top 6 players that end the year in the points Americans get onto the Ryder Cup team. They don't have to get picked. They automatically get on. So it makes every one of these events a little more important, you know? Because if an American wins, they could get on the Ryder Cup team. Now, I'm saying that a Canadian did win this week, so there's no chance he can get on the Ryder Cup team. And that was Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor, fantastic chip in on 18 to win the Sony Open. Both Hawaii legs down the PGA Tour. We go to California next. I watched both tournaments last week and this week. Great. It was in Hawaii. I think it's the best way to watch golf because they don't start till 4 o'clock on Sunday, so you get to watch prime time golf. So very entertaining. If you're not watching it, please watch Sundays of the PGA Tour. I think it's some of the most fun stuff to watch. Nick Taylor got it done this week. It was actually electric, his chip in. American Express is up next. I believe Scotty Scheffler's not playing in that. He has a hand issue. But some of the other big guys will be playing in that event. Should be very interesting.
Yeah, cut his hand at home.
Cut his hand at home, yes. But if you are watching PGA Tour this year, remember, all these matter when it comes to the Ryder Cup. And the Ryder Cup is my personal favorite sporting event. Out of all the sporting events, I love the Ryder Cup so much.
Wow.
And also TGL on Tuesday. I forget who's playing, but there is a TGL on Tuesday night, so please lock into that because I thought it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of up and down reviews from it last week.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I thought it was a great watch. I think if ESPN smooths out some stuff on the broadcast end, because that's what people forget. Like, I think the product's great, but like the broadcast is 100% of like what people think about it.
Yeah, true.
So I think ESPN needs to smooth some stuff out.
It's all about how you present it, man.
But I thought they had a great show. I think there was just some things that they need to get used to. But I think it's a great idea. And if you haven't watched it, definitely tune in on Tuesday to the TGL. So that's it for golf. Let's get to ripping some packs.
Yeah, baby. Oh, strike up the music again, baby. Let's freaking go. As you guys know here, we've been ripping these upper deck cards here, a little hockey action. McJesus on the covers, what Brian's hoping for. I mean, it'd be great to have a McDavid card, but 12 cards in the pack, which is exuberant.
And we did make a pact that if we do pull a pack over $1,000, I get to keep the money.
No one said that, actually.
No, we did make that pact.
But I'm going to go here. Opening the pack is always so tough. So we'll do 6 and 6. Okay, dude, and I'm gonna take from the bottom here. I think. What are we looking at? All right, so first up here, I like this one. This is a guy we were talking about, actually, formerly known as a Colorado Avalanche here, Alexander Georgiev, baby. So it was a pretty sweet card, obviously. Someone who's native to Michael from the same town, Ruse, Bulgaria, dude.
Boys growing up.
Boys growing up, dude. So that's a sweet little card. Obviously, Rangers goaltender had huge hopes for him. But whatever, dude. From one goaltender to the next, actually, guy was having a good year for his respective team, starting in between the pipes for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Joseph Wall,
Boston College product.
Really, Boston College product. I like him a little bit less here. We're going with this is a nice vertical, nice landscape image here of Joseph Wall. Obviously, last few seasons, not great, but this year doing a lot for Toronto. And if they want to get anywhere, they're going to need it here. Okay, actually, this is a good one, too, here. Another team we were just talking about, San Jose Sharks, dude, out of Finland, Mikael Granlund.
Oh, I've been waiting for that card forever.
This is actually a good one. Dude, having a great year. Obviously, in terms of the success of the Sharks, this is a sweet one, too, because he has, like, the alternate jersey on. I think they might be...
Those are sick.
Yeah, with just the fin in the water, dude. Love to see it. There's 3 up here. This is another one. I actually really like these because all their photos show what the team they used to be. From the Utah Hockey Club, Sean Dursey.
Oh, Sean Dursey.
Let's go, dude.
That's a big pull.
4th year in the league, drafted originally by the Kings, goes to Arizona, obviously now Utah, whatever. Yep. But it's interesting all these Utah guys are in their Arizona sweaters. Let's go 2 left for me here. All right, this is also, I guess, kind of cool. A man who I guess is really not that great, but on his 6th year in the league for Chicago here, Jason Dickinson.
Oh, that card's ass.
That's right, baby. This card is ass, dude. What have I done 4 now?
J Dick, baby.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is my last one. Oh, shit, dude.
What is it?
This is Aimbots, it says. I don't know this card, I don't know what the front of it, but it's gonna be sick. AB1, it says here. This is a man who's obviously been highly touted for as long as I've been alive, dude, and will never stop playing hockey till he dies. Could possibly break records. Alex Ovechkin,
what
baby.
is that?
It's an aimbot card. We got Ovi in, I want to say, a Winter Classic uniform, maybe, against the Florida Panthers. You see where he's aiming. It's 5-hole right there on Bobrovsky. This is the card that could pay for your
card.
retirement, baby. Probably not.
Oh,
wow, dude.
$99 card in some markets.
Let's go, Alexander Ovechkin.
Wow.
He's breaking that record, that card, put it in the sleeve, and I will pass off here to Riley to get to the last 6.
Let's see. Let's see. Okay.
Let's go, people.
All right. First card here.
It's a good one.
Oh, we were just talking about
Yeah, dude.
an Elias Pettersson card here.
How's he looking?
He looks nice.
Angry.
He looks rich with his $11 million per
Yeah,
year.
11.6.
You're about to see him in a new uniform. This is an O-Pee-Chee card,
Oh.
and it says glossy on it.
Does it look glossy?
It does not look too glossy.
Oh.
Pettersson. Next up, from the Young Guns collection.
Ooh. You like that.
Oh, the Young Guns. Gavin Brindley. Never heard of him.
what team is he on?
He's on the Blue Jackets.
Oh, okay. That's probably why.
Never heard of him. Let's see. This is why you haven't heard of him. He has 1 game played last year.
All
0
right.
points, 0 goals.
Future the guy, though.
Future, baby.
You put it in the safe, you
Gavin
forget
Brindley.
about it all of a sudden.
As a sophomore at the University of Michigan, he had 53 points at the University of Michigan.
There we
Good
go.
thing that doesn't translate.
Could have used him at Sacred Heart.
Next up from Cranbrook, British Columbia.
There we go.
Another guy I haven't heard of. Bowen Byram, little beast.
Bowen
Square
Byram,
Axe.
dude. I know Bowen Byram. Plays
do
for the
not.
Sabres. Was
Does play
traded
for the
from
Sabres.
Colorado, I think.
Traded from Colorado
For
3
Casey Middlestat.
3 years at Colorado.
Yeah.
Wow. Series 1 hockey card.
That's a great card, actually. Bowen Byram's going to be a good
Bowen
player.
Byram.
There we go. Bang.
Next up is a little bit of an interesting card. This guy's had an up and down career, a lot of concussions for the Flyers.
Ooh.
Owen Tippett card here. Owen Tippett,
He's
great
all right, I
player.
guess.
He's dealt with injuries.
Yeah.
He is minus 35 plus minus for his year.
Oh.
Tony, could you guess
Where he's from?
where he's from?
Rhode Island.
No, he's
Oh.
from Ontario.
Damn it.
Oh, up next. Ready for this one?
I'm ready. Let's go, dude. I
Ready?
feel it.
I'm gonna give you
it's
a
good
guess.
one. Okay, what do you got? All right.
Okay. Toronto Maple Leafs, contract talks last year. He's part of the Big Four there. He sat out a little bit of the year for contracts.
Not Matthews. I don't think Tavares was. Is Johnny T? No.
Nope. No, younger guy.
Mitch Marner.
Nope. You're the only one you're missing. He's from Europe.
Who is it?
William Nylander.
Nylander. Fuck, why didn't I get that?
How did he not get that?
I don't know. He's the other guy.
William Nylander, I mean, looking at these stats.
He's a stud. Absolute
he's a
stud.
I mean, 98 points last year. What a guy. I don't know if anyone. Oh, no free ads, but I will plug the Prime Video docuseries that they did on the NHL.
Oh, yeah?
Very good. They did an episode with William Nylander, who's best friends with David Pastrnak, that kind of turns it into an episode.
No
and at
way.
the end of the episode, they play each other and they mic up both of them. Very good. This is actually a really cool card here. Cool art on it, too.
Love to see it,
See
dude.
the flex on the stick there.
Flex on the stick, dude.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
And up next is a legend of the game.
A
Older guy.
legend?
I don't know if he's a...
Like Hall of Famer.
No,
Legend.
no.
Oh.
What's the step before a legend?
I don't know. Prophet?
No. Good veteran? That's
A wily veteran, dude.
he's been on the same team, been on the Capitals forever. He's not Ovechkin. Him
Oh,
and Ovechkin have been there
no.
forever. He's a defenseman. John Carlson, the
Carlson's
Massachusetts
all right.
product. I mean, his prime was very good, but it looks like Tony's pull was a little bit better than my 6 over here.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean-
They were great cards. I mean,
I mean-
obviously,
We did pull an
OV.
Elias Pettersson glossy O-Peachy. As you see, it says O-Peachy on the bottom.
It says O-Peachy.
It won't. We can't get the focus.
To grab it.
Take my word for it. It says O-Peachy on the card.
I mean, that's great, dude. We got Carlson and we got Ovechkin. You know, it seems to be a theme to some of these packs, you know?
Yes.
Because the last pack we got Montembeault and Caulfield and Suzuki. But this is great, dude. Alexander Ovechkin. Brian would be beside himself right now if he were here.
That's a great card.
That's a great card.
Great card.
Like, especially if he, breaks the record this year. Like, that's fucking.
Hold on to that. Sell it when you're like 60.
Yeah. For $1 million.
$1 million. 1 million big ones.
1 million big ones, dude. Veteran goal scorer.
Tony's going to take that card home with him later.
Take it home with me later.
Yep.
A couple of comments here on the way out by my mother, really. My mother wants to know, are there any games in California that are affected?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, tonight. Tonight's game's affected.
Yeah, well, all the games have been moved.
I was going to say, yeah, there was Kings game that was moved.
The basketball games have all been canceled.
Games have all been moved, dude. So my mother also says, how about the new coach? I don't know what she's referring to.
For what team?
I don't know. But maybe the Patriots?
Well.
Maybe?
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, what's your... No, right. Like, Vrabel, like, what are your thoughts right now,
I wanted Ben Johnson.
Doesn't everyone?
I think that the way the NFL is going is that you need one of these young, super, like, offensive-minded head coaches. But if you're not going to get that... And first of all, who knows how Ben Johnson would have held the room? No one knows.
Right.
Mike Vrabel comes with a track record. I think the Patriots got super loose. From some of the stuff I heard from inside the building, it was that there was a collaboration effort from everyone. No one really had reins of the building. No one really had the... Mike Vrabel's going to come in there and tighten stuff up. I mean, it is going to be... it is going to be a new ship over there. I watched a video from a player that he used to have saying that it's kind of almost like the Belichick kind of... I mean, it is going to be a tight ship over there. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what young players need. It's a super young group. And now... I'm excited. I think Vrabel and Drake May are going to be together for a while. Mm-hmm. It makes next year into a big year, though, because if you won 4 games with no coach, Drake May, no offense, now there's going to be some structure. There's going to be some... You need to be in the hunt next year at least. You need like 7-8 wins to at least be in the wild card hunt. But I have faith in Vrabel. I think a lot of it comes from Vrabel wants control of the roster, which is something that we have to give him. We have to let Elliott Wolf give Vrabel control of the roster.
Will he, though?
I don't know. That's the big question. Vrabel left the Titans because they wouldn't give him control of the roster. You have to give him control of the roster. Remember when Belichick was here? He was the GM, too. So, but the thing is, if you're going to sign him for a multi-year deal, you got to think that this was all thought. Like, he wasn't.
You would think that it was.
He wasn't going to agree to a contract if that wasn't the case. I think other steps need to be taken, other coaches. I would bring in a new OC. And I think it'd be Josh McDaniels. I would bring in Josh McDaniels, get the band back together. I mean, you have Josh Allen 2.0. I mean, anyone that says Drake May is not going to be good is an idiot. Drake May is a stud. He's going to be filthy. I don't know about what you do with Joe Milton. Joe Milton looks pretty good. Maybe you could trade him for something. Nothing crazy. Maybe just like a late, like 6th round pick or something, 5th round pick. I just don't see the reason of holding on to Joe Milton if you're going to play Drake May for the next 15 years. Mm-hmm. There's no reason if you're going to get a 5th round pick, 6th round pick out of him, you might as well. But I think the outlook in New England town for the Patriots is pretty positive now with Vrabel. I would like to see what they do with the 4th pick.
Yeah.
I would like it to be a skilled guy. I think you need more skilled guys, but you also need blocking up front. So it's a rope that you have to dance on. Who knows what you want? Do you go get an O-lineman with that 4th pick when I think there's skill guys out there? My choice would be you trade down from the 4th and maybe try to get an early 2nd rounder and a 1st rounder with that 4th overall pick and take the kid McMillan out of Arizona and then take O-line help after that. But there's a lot of questions. We'll have a better grasp on them after the draft. And then they do have a lot of money to spend. I think it's $77 million they can spend. They have a lot of cap to use, and I think you go out and get T. Higgins to give Drake May someone to throw to, because
that would be sick to get T. Higgins.
It's also not just T. Higgins' skill. It's, I mean, Jalen Polk is a bust right now. He was awful in his first year. Javon Baker, who they got in the 3rd round, was awful. That's 2 wide receivers who you thought were going to be good, and the reason why I don't think they're good, there was no leadership. bring in T. Higgins, make these wide receivers have some accountability to some of these young guys, and maybe they can grow and get better. Because like you look at a guy like Ladd McConkey that was taking only 5 or 7 picks before Jalen Polk, and it's just like polar opposites. Like he's breaking out. Jalen Polk is posting stuff on his Instagram story about how unhappy he is. It's like I hate that shit. Vrabel's gonna come in and put an end to all that like whiny wide receiver stuff, and that I'm excited for. And I'm excited to watch football this week. Very excited to get into more playoff football. And, should be a good one.
Hell yeah, dude. Very excited to have you in today, filling
Yes.
Ryan's role, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got the text from Tony. He said, we need some help.
Yeah.
Said I can help on Monday. Don't know if I'll be around the rest of the week, but
You got work?
I do have work.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go. I've worked the rest of the week. But great day today.
Hell yeah.
Great show. Great to be back. Enjoy everyone tuning in. Enjoying everyone listening. And we'll see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Maybe a little different lineup. Do we want to give a sneak peek of the lineup tomorrow, Tony?
I think the sneak peek of the lineup is me, to be honest, dude. I could be wrong, right?
Okay,
But
so
no one...
maybe it's just Tony. Maybe I'll call in. Maybe I'll call in and say some outlandish stuff just to keep Tony on his toes.
Yeah, so we do. We have tomorrow seems like it would just be me, maybe Michael in the building. But then Wednesday, you know the deal. We'll have Zach. Zach's going to be on Wednesday.
Zach, do we have any Domac this week?
He said he'd let me know on Wednesday if he can do Thursday or Friday.
So I just want this before we go, just for the viewers out there.
Go ahead.
You might be seeing all 3 former Downtime interns here this week, and I just want you every show after to just see how you came from that show and which one was the best one. And I just at the end of the week, maybe on Friday, maybe a couple comments of what intern really drove the ship this week. That'd be nice.
Wow, that'd be kind of interesting, dude. I like that call. And then, honestly, like for you to say too on the Monday, because now like obviously like Zach and Domac see you doing it, and like, oh wow, I can probably do better than that. And then all of a sudden you're maybe the outlier there.
And this takes a little bit of balls for me to do this because
really?
Because as a Monday one, I'm giving them the chance to do. I can't do multiple shows this week. They
right.
can do multiple shows, and then they can do with this information as they want as I'm calling them out.
That's right. And Zach's been coming in, so it's not like he, a year ago. It's been a year. Like he came in last week.
Yeah. So, but that's all the time we have for today. Send it out, Tony. I forget. Oh,
yeah. Don't forget to comment, subscribe,
and subscribe.
Michael,
please subscribe.
Tony, Jay in costume. You're making them subscribe.
Thank you, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.